Hello everybody, how are we doing? Welcome to some WardiTV Winter Cup action. What? This tournament's been on hold for a while because of other scheduling things. Obviously Chinese event came around that we weren't expecting and stuff, so we were kind of planning to have like Group D in the playoffs for this like last week, but then the wrong E-Cup came around, so it was already like going to be like a 1 week downtime, and then we come back like 2 weeks after our Group C. It's been 3 weeks since Group C, but we have Group D today, and then we'll get the playoffs sorted, and the playoffs will be played tomorrow. And then on Friday we've got solo show matches. We're just in for a pretty fun little time, I think, in the foreseeable future, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I should be in for a pretty fun ride, kind of along the way. So yeah, hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be starting off here very soon, and just getting the first videos done. We're going to be starting the day with some ZVZ with Rex versus Shin. And then we're going to have the ZVP stretch. We're going to do the PvP at the end today. So we're going to do like 4 ZVPs slap bang in the middle of this group D. I think everything's on the Wikipedia. It is. So it's going to be all the Rex matches first. So first Shin versus MaxPax versus ShoWTimE. And then we just go into the Shin ShoWTimE, Shin MaxPax. Finish it up with PvP MaxPax ShoWTimE. 2 players advance. And of course, a fair bit on the line. So obviously you get to go to the playoffs. Once you're in the playoffs, the top 4, so your top 8 in the playoffs, you win a match, you're qualified into the WardiTV Winter Championship. But not just the Winter Championship, you're qualified into the playoffs of the Winter Championship. So you get a very good seed into the basically the Winter Championship. You get to bypass the group stage, which means you don't have to bother with any qualifiers. You don't have to bother with anything like that. You just get to, like I say, walk straight over into the Winter Championship playoffs, and you will begin from then. You'll get highest seed available as well, so you'll end up playing 3rd place from someone out at the group stage too, so you really are just in a great place at that scenario, and that's going to be how that one works out. As I'm just going to throw the lobby link up for game number 1 here today, which is going to be on Ruby Rock. Let's get that ready to go, and we'll be off into this in just a few short moments, guys. Shin versus Rex, like I say, going to be starting our day. We do have playoffs of this event happening tomorrow. Yes, 2 Zergs and 2 Protoss in this group, guys. No Terran. My original Terran invite for this group fell through. We actually only have 4 Terrans in this tournament, and 2 already fell out in the group stages, so a little bit crazy in that regard, as Rex just needs a relog, so we'll give him a second, and we'll get ready to go into this matchup in a few moments' time. How's everyone doing? How are we all feeling? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being here with us early. Obviously, like I say, going to be 6 best of 3s today. If we finish super quick, I do still want to do that series from Home Story Cup I was talking about, but we'll see how the day goes, to be honest. We'll just see what the day gives us, because I'm not completely sure just yet. So yeah, cool. Cool. This is what Wardy looks like. Yeah, I mean, pretty sure this is what I look like. I've looked like this for most of my life. I didn't just change in the last day or so. Huh? Crazy. Just wait, no, that's Rex. Perfect. So we should be pretty much ready to go into this, guys. Get some of this ZVZ action started. Just a couple seconds. And yeah, just kick on into the games. No messing around. A day players have vetoed. Gogo says Rex. If Shin says Gogo as well, we'll have a look to see how this group is going to start. I do think Rex has been fun to watch lately. He's often taken kind of maps in the first rounds of the Monday Cups and so on, and definitely kind of looking better than I feel like he has done in a while. So I'm kind of excited to see what Rex kind of brings to the table. I actually think we're in for a pretty entertaining possibility here. So we'll get into this and start up in just a moment, as you can hear all the countdowns going on, etc, etc. And we are going to be kicking off onto Ruby Rock here, like I say, momentarily, for game 1 of this best of 3. It's nice to meet you in host or in win against you in beer pong. Yeah. Teammate choice was abysmal on my side. So were my throws, really. Nice to meet you, mate. Thanks for popping in. Nice to meet a lot of people at Home Story, actually. This this home story was kind of wild. There was a lot of people who there was a lot of, I mean, you always see people at home story, right? Like, there's always people at home story, and you see people like, oh, I'm not seeing you in ages, man. This home story is like one of the first times where I've probably stopped and been like, I like did a double take, and I was like, it's you? So, first of all, Shin's in the bottom right, and Rex is in the upper left. So way back in the day, one of the first events I ever casted offline on a small scale was the Dutch StarCraft League, the DSCL. And I went to the Netherlands a couple times to cast their finals. We covered a bunch of it online as well. Like, DSCL was one of the events that I, you know, got a lot of casting experience in and experience in work. You know what I mean? So, and this was run by a guy called Frank, and Frank was gotten kind of involved in the StarCraft scene as well, because he was like an admin for like WESG and stuff. He helped a lot of that stuff happen as well, if you remember WESG back in the day and so on. So Frank is pretty involved, but the last time I saw Frank was legitimately in like 2019, because the DSCL came to a close, and then there was like, and then WESG kind of stopped happening. So I'm pretty sure the last time I saw Frank was in China in like 2019. And he just disappeared. You know, he was an admin guy, right? So it's like, it's not unheard of. It's not like a player stepped away and stuff, but like, you know, just an admin who did something for a couple of the, organizations that disappeared and, moved on with his life, right? So I'm walking through Home Story Cup on like day one, and I see Frank, and I have to stop, and I'm like, I'm just like, Frank? This is like the craziest thing. I've not seen this guy in like 7 years. Like, he's, in my opinion, like from what I know, he's got like zero connection to StarCraft 2 anymore. And he was just there chilling. Huh? He saw a Hearthstone video. Hearthstone said the best way to come to Home Story Cup is to make it a family event. So he brought his wife and kids. He took them to the zoo, and he came to hang out at Home Story Cup. That was sick. Yeah, really cool. Because like I say, for me, this, Frank's one of the guys who gave me a lot of opportunities when I was, starting out and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, really cool to see someone from a good few years ago, I suppose. So, yeah. Alright, anyways, into some ZVZ, enough story time, more StarCraft time, where we've got stories to tell within the game. And we're going to be getting this going. Krefeld has a zoo. Yeah, it's a pretty legit zoo as well. Like, they have all sorts of stuff. We did, when they started doing the themed Home Story Cups, we did like a filming day, media day at the zoo. And, yeah, me and Clem went in the butterfly enclosure together, and they have penguins. They have everything, man. Like, they have everything you would expect to see at a zoo, and probably more, to be honest. Like, genuinely very cool zoo. Just in Krefeld. I know. You hear about Krefeld, you don't think it has anything apart from Home Story Cup. Now, that is pretty true, although it is becoming a better place. But, yeah, they've had a zoo. That was always one of the cooler parts of Krefeld, I think. Krefeld's actually getting kind of wild. We went for, like, Korean food in Krefeld. Like, this is, like, such a baffling experience to actually go for, like, Korean food in Krefeld. Like, it's just not the sort of place, like, it truly was the place that had, like, 55 kebab stores and nothing else. And nowadays, they have so many different choices of food and stuff. Like, Krefeld's actually becoming a pretty decent place to go. Don't mind going every couple, twice a year. It's becoming better than it used to be, at least. No doubt at all. Couple things coming by. We are going to be seeing some aggression on both sides here. Shin and Rex push through the early game. Now, those roaches are going to reveal themselves on the scout and zergling. So now Shin knows Rex is making roaches. What Shin's going to want to do is probably try and fight over towards Rex's side of the map. So he has more time to rebuild, fight, rebuild, and then fight again on his own side if Rex decides to push. But the Lings are going to get there. Ling Roach are going to get turned the other way. A couple of Banes going to come through to the front. Going to turn that around as well. Just going to see the Zergling's going to stay there as well. And do a pretty decent job of holding on against this right now. Some Banes are going to show up. They're going to push forward. Shin has a lot, but Rex, I love this. A few Lings on the counterattack, and Shin has to stop and go deal with that. Otherwise, you lose your third hatchery. You are going to be in trouble here. And we are going to save it, but like I said, you absolutely had to stop the aggression for this. Building our own Roach Roar now, looking to get into our own Roach count. It's only 6 Roaches from Rex, so I think Shin will catch up pretty decently. And because they're both on similar work accounts here, I think this is a very much so a game that's going to get the go-ahead to just continue through. And see what it can do. Feeling as the Roach is still gathering. Roach Roar about to finish. Extra Roaches building from Rex. Was it good Korean food? It was, yeah, it was legit, honestly. It was good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Honestly, Krefeld's like really not a bad place anymore. Like, spent years memeing about this place and how bad it is and kebab, 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 but like, you can eat pretty well in Krefeld in this day and age. It's kind of sick. It's changed a lot. It's not the Krefeld I once knew, you know. Back in my day, Krefeld, you know, we didn't get stabbed walking outside to take TV, didn't really have a proper Home Story Cup experience. Nowadays, all these newcomers, they don't know what we went through. It feels a bit like that, to be honest. Like, it sounds silly, but like, it kind of is a bit like that, to be honest. Yeah, these guys don't know how good they have it. Anyway, we are going to see a couple of Lings and Banes connecting through, a couple of shots coming off, some Roaches taking damage as well, so we do get a few hits in here and there, and just going to be seeing a couple of Banes going to get cleaned out as well. It's just going to push them down, knock them away, and take them out of the equation for a couple of moments as well. So again, so far so good in that regard as the feelings gather up here, and they're going to set to see what else they can get up to in the next few moments. Just going to be seeing the Roaches still building here on the shot side of Shin. And yeah, at this point, it's Rex with a slight worker lead. I mean, the game is close enough that this can go anybody's way still at this point, but we'll see. You maybe can continue to take an edge in these next few minutes. Oh, there's plenty of Roaches building up then. We are going to see the Lings looking for that chance to wrap around, but yeah, the defense is good. What's funny is that this is like it's such a case of ZVZ where like nobody wants to move on because they're both afraid of the other guy all-inning. So they both continue to just make Roaches and Lings off of hatchery tech. There's no lair inside. The scout coming through, so you know there's no lair either. And so we're just gonna try and keep on building up. Yeah, I mean, this is again one of those times where this really does just become like just the slowest attacks, and it is going to be Shin to finally drop a tech structure down. The lair is coming into play. Obviously, that just opens the door to Roach speed, and then, you'd think maybe an Evo Chamber and +1 would go a long way. I think at this point, Shin has enough stuff where the investment into a lair isn't going to slow him down on units so much that Rex is going to be able to capitalize on it, The earlier you build that lair, the less units you have, so the higher percentage of an investment is, on everything that you've spent that goes into building the lair. The later on it gets, the less impactful, lair is going to be versus having just 2 or 3 more Roaches, so at this point, I think we are kind of fine to build lair. I'm just going to see those Zerglings actually got a pretty good catch at the front. The Roach is going to put some damage out as well. You can see 1, 2, 3 of those Roaches. They all get taken out straight away. Nice grabs. And again, the lair, the drones, the Roaches building through. The Overlord coming up, continuing through for a moment. Roaches heading down to the bottom right-hand side. We got a few Banes morphing. So Rex is going to send it. I mean, to be fair, we built the lair Shin, but we haven't used it, right? So it really is just the lair investment. Gets a counterattack at hatchery low from earlier aggression, and we are going to force the Roaches back. Oh, we do get the hatchery. I didn't want to make a call because I was like, I actually didn't know if that was going to go down or not. It got very close, and in the end, it does go down. So Rex is even more all-in now. I mean, he was pretty committed anyway. Before you could say, well, maybe he's just a lair behind, right? But now he's an entire hatchery behind, so being an entire base behind is not exactly going to bode well for you. Definitely something you're going to want to try and fix up on a little bit if possible. A couple of vials coming through. See a couple of Banes are just slow waddling forward as the Roaches will continue to fight. A couple of Banes still connecting in, and we'll just be seeing our Roaches continue to come through. But Shin has plenty, and he has his army supply in his favor as well. I'm just going to be seeing those Roaches continue to trade out nicely. A couple more Roaches taking some more damage. It's going to be Shin just defending. In the end, Rex kind of pulled the trigger, but like I say, Shin never committed so much so that he was going to be overcommitted on tech or anything. He always had enough units to absolutely be A-okay here, as you see, and he's going to take probably this game 1. Alright, GG's. Shin is going to take that opening game, and we're going to get ourselves into game 2 here in just a few moments' time. So, our second map is going to be White Rabbit. Perfect, let's get White Rabbit underway and continue through our ZVZ to start the day off. What's this up? Get us rolling. Kick this into action. putting Rex as a spectator because usually he's casting. So I see him in the player slot. I'm like dragging him down. I'm like, no, you actually do need to be up there. And Shin joins our lobby. He's gonna go as well. That was a proper just kind of, I'm gonna build unit CVZ, and they both did it. And then in the end, Rex decided to attack, which he could have pulled back from the attack if he hadn't lost the third hatchery, right? Losing the third hatchery pretty much dooms him into then having to attack. And there you have it. All right, White Rabbit coming up here in just a couple of moments. Gonna get this one on the way, guys, and ready to rumble. Let's get this started up. Let's go in game. Let's cast some more StarCraft 2. As in the top right-hand corner of the map, we are going to start with our Blue Zergy, who is down one game after the opening map. It is going to be Rex. He's looking to bring it back, of course, against the Red Zerg. In the bottom left-hand side, we've got Shin. Looking to bounce back on this one and give us a little bit more action and hopefully glory as we get this started on up. What do I think are the most important development forks for ZVZ? Probably whether your opponent is going to all in you or not. ZVZ is just this weird matchup of like you're always under threat of being all in, and if you're always under threat of being all in, you have to play around that the entire time, because at ZVZ, at any point you can essentially cut drones, spam units, and be like, bam, I'm going to hit you here. So what's important is just knowing what your opponent's up to, constantly scouting, getting confirmation, and then you can kind of tech on as you want to, and obviously head into roaches and so, and some people like to try and play mutas and stuff as well, but that's really what's going to open the doorway or the pathway to kind of having success. It's more timing than unit comp. Yeah, I mean, it's really just like, it's kind of a game of chicken. It's like, who's going to make the most drones? But like, you can nullify kind of the danger of it by obviously scouting. If you see your opponent is clearly not making as many drones, or has got like, you know, no Evo chamber, or you see a hidden roach run, you know, there's so many like tell points where it's like, oh, right, you're going to attack me. In that case, you have to cut off kind of your, you know, your drone and then get units up. I mean, ZVZ compositionally really, most of the time is just Roach Ravager. Sometimes mutas, and sometimes the mutas go into lurkers. Very rarely does ZVZ kind of naturally kind of get to you. Kind of like, you know, lurker versus lurker, that kind of late game ZVZ is not really a real thing. There really is just Roach Ravager, and there's not really much kind of difference you can do there. Some people go Hydras, but you mostly go Hydras if there's mutas out. I mean, basically things only change if one guy gets away with going mutas. Otherwise, you just got to go Roach Ravager and try and outplay them, outposition them. Because teching up is always just so dangerous in this matchup, basically. Like, it's start to finish, there's never like a safe point where you can just be like, you know what, let's go. Let's just throw all the tech into play. This is a live tourney? This is a live tourney. Yes. Player on the way up from Shin. So he's playing Gasless, so this is one of the ways you can play a bit differently, playing Gasless. This is a difference in an opener, though, in terms of he's going to go Gasless into the lair. He can, from Gasless lair, go into just roaches. That's the one common thing. You basically just have a very good economy early. The main thing you're bypassing here is Zergling speed. And because of this, you can't take a third hatchery as quickly, because you don't have the speedy lings to kind of protect that third hatchery or anything, so you have to kind of play around that. Ling's gonna shoot. Ling's take some damage. Just gonna see that Ling speed about to finish. Again, the Carapace continuing by. We'll just have ourselves the Rotron, Infestation Pit, Evo Chamber, all building through. Add a couple of Overlords into that as well. Just bringing a lot of this up and into play for now. And that Carapace upgrade coming through as well. A couple of Lings at the front. Gonna get turned around. A couple of Queens gonna be there nicely positioned too to keep things back. The Nidus from Shin. Wow. And an Infestation Pit. Are we swarm hosting? This feels like we're swarm hosting, but that's a very kind of different way to kind of go about this than you would usually expect. So, kind of intrigued. Let's see what comes out of this. I mean, swarm host is the only thing that really makes sense right now, though. And 3 of them start up. He has me being like, well, ZVZ, you know, roaches. Roaches, you can't really do much more than roaches, but this genuinely is like crazy. I know we don't see a lot of ZVZs in this day and age, but this is really off the charts in terms of what you expect a ZVZ to look like. This is an absolutely bonkers situation. 4 Swarm Hosts all coming up. Carapace coming through, Spine Crawl still building, the Nidus is coming online as well. The Feelings get deflected around the front as well, so they're going to get pushed away also. Just for a few moments there. Getting held back as you do have the Swarm Host just going to pop out. Locust into the main base and put some pressure on, and we can't really do anything about this here initially as Rex, apart from just run away. I mean, the thing is with Locust, they do so much damage so quickly. Really shouldn't have ever let these Locusts get in range of your drones. The target fire, I mean, this is a disaster, right? 8 drones going down. Queens go down as well, so both the Queens in the end go down. This really was not great from Rex. Because this was a scenario where you could have saved everything just by running. And a lot of the time, it's okay to just run against the Swarm Host Locusts, because Swarm Host Locusts are very powerful. They do super high DPS, right? So it's okay to just say, you know what, I'm going to run the hell away from here and just let them do their thing on my structures. Obviously, if you have to give up a hatchery, then it's a bit more of a complicated question. I like that denial of the Nidus in the main base as the Locust going to pop through toward the natural for a couple of moments. They're going to jump onto this hatchery on the 12 o'clock and look to take that out as well. This third base just goes down. Rex is struggling to deal with the Swarm Host. I think you just need enough roaches, but if you take damage super early, getting to that high roach count straight away is going to be difficult. You're not supply blocked. And so I don't know if you have a high roach count, all you need to do is kind of survive one wave of Locust, and then bam, you attack across the map and all the Locusts on cooldown. Your opponent can't really do anything that they're usually expecting to be able to do at that point. So that really is kind of your way through to kind of seeing a victory screen. But you need to be able to get to that high roach count in the first place. And like I say, right now the setup is not really allowing for it. So you just took so much damage straight away. A couple of Locusts popped down there to try and play defense, it seems. Nidus will go down. Just going to see the couple Swarms still building. Nidus in the spine. And so coming up. Crash ST2, thank you so much for the 8-month resub. Good to see you. Thank you for supporting. I'm just going to get rid of the spawning pool. I'm not sure if the spawning pool matters too much. I mean, you're going to have to rebuild it, but it's going to stop you from building units right now, at least. Because obviously we're going to be roach focused here. But it's still just something else you have to rebuild, right? It's one less target in the main base for the future. One missiles and roach speed will both be building through right now, so we get those on the way. And we are going to see both players heading into the same upgrades, but again, you still have the Swarm Host here, Shin. That investment is paying off for itself, right? Swarm Hosts are meant to find efficiency, and so far they've absolutely found just a whole bunch of efficiency. So they've done a great job in that regard. And a fantastic effort. Very solid up until now, as you can see those Swarm Host Locusts going to press through. We're just going to go for a little bit more damage again. Just got the Nidus popping up in a couple moments. Hydroden is building from Rex. Not sure what he's going for with the Hydroden. Like, is he aiming to get the Lurkers eventually? I don't feel like adding Hydras into his army is going to do much. They're going to be high damage output units. I mean, it's better to have a Roach Hydra than just Roaches, but like, the problem with going Roach Hydras, it's an investment to get into the Hydras where just sometimes maybe more Roaches actually would have been good enough. Like, you say Roach Hydra's better than Roaches, that's under the assumption that, you know, you're basically saying, like, if you have the choice, Roach Hydra or Roach, what do you take? Well, you take Roach Hydra. But there are consequences to going into those Hydras, and like I say, I think that's the kind of the concern at the moment here when we're getting set up in terms of where we may end up going. So, intrigued to see, like I say, what the next few moments have in store for us as the Roaches will get themselves in toward a Nidus over there, so they're just going to pick through that. A few Roaches getting chased around. The Locust on top of some drones. Going to also have a good time for a few moments as well, picking up some work kills. Rex is kind of staying there in terms of supply. Losing this hatchery again is not great. Obviously, Shin has not had a third hatch up, so Shin being kind of without a third hatchery means he has been limited on his economy. And that kind of what keeps Rex in this, especially as he has a replacement base on the right side. So he still sits as a 3-base Zerg play here. Going to catch these Roaches, but I actually don't know if he's catching or if he's being caught, because he actually ends up with, I feel like he had less Roaches there, but he does have a Carapace upgrade. As the Swarm Host, I love that one. Roach is baiting a couple of the Locusts to kind of drop down early. Rex doing what he can to try and maneuver and manipulate this game back into his control. Yeah, now the Rotron gets jumped on. This is the problem with the Swarm hosts. Logos are such high damage output. In the grand scheme of things here, losing a Rotron maybe is not terrible, but... Okay, this is a moment I thought maybe you could have turned on to the Swarm host there. Apparently they have a bunch of Locusts ready already. And knock down the Spines. The Spines are here because of a moment like this where basically the Swarm hosts are on cooldown. So you've got a lot of supply that just isn't here. Now as the Locusts arrive, you pretty much have to disengage from this as Rex or go elsewhere. You can't let the Locust fight your Roaches, because if you give him that level of efficiency, that is absolutely where Shin is going to kill you, right? If those Locusts get to fight the Roach count, your Roach count just isn't going to fare well. He is now building Hydras behind this as well, so like I say, intrigued to see where exactly that goes. And fight once again here. Does Rex have enough? A couple Locusts going to drop in from the other side. At least the Locusts are being forced to be used defensively. There's a couple that have popped out from Nidus on the other side of the map. I've got to give credit to Shin. A little bit of multitasking, absolutely going to be going a long way here. They're kind of keeping him on his own 2 feet. And just dying to Locust as they spawn. It's just so nice with the Locust on the other side being able to dive in and just get some extra bonus bits of damage throughout this. It's just such it just adds such a nice layer of consistency to the whole scenario. These 3 Hydras now wanting to get after that Overlord, and yeah. We're just gathered up. Nidus Network coming through the front. Just going to be seeing how Overlord's still keeping an eye on things everywhere. Just going to see this hatcher on the right side goes down. A few Locusts will pop out. Swarms are popping through. The Roaches are running back over. And we are going to see everything together looking for one big push here as Shin looks to end this game. If Rex has to fight these Locusts, this really is doomed. He's backing away, but he's now the 2-base Zerg player. This game has gone so far from where it originally was for him. It is down in the gutter, and I think we are hurting, quite frankly, over these next couple of moments. I think this one probably coming to a little bit of a close, as we do see the Locusts going to zone. The Roaches are going to do their thing without the Locusts really being needed to kind of damage. The Locusts just need to keep the army away. The Roach is going to shred through the natural and just look like Shin is going to have a game 2 of this best of 3 to start us off with today's games. I like it. I like it a lot. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. What's up, Agro Soldier? 5 months resub to Max make Roaches with 2 base with a hatch in the wall. Not quite as crazy as that man you played on ladder. Thank you so much for the 5 months, Echo. The risky 73-month resub. Oof, legendary. Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I saw the risky Prime sub on the Take TV channel. I was like, oh no, I lost my risky sub for the month, but risky still here resubbing. Beautiful. Thank you so much, mate. Appreciate it. GG's. And that is going to be our first match of the day wrapped up, as we're obviously going to swap on over to NA for the future matches, because the next 4 matches are all going to be Europe versus Korea or Taiwan. So we're going to play on NA for the fairness of servers. And they will feature, first up is going to be Rex against the Protoss players of MaxPax and ShoWTimE, and then we'll have Shin versus the Protoss guys, and then the Protoss will play each other to round out the day. That is the scheduling of it all, so that's what's going to happen. Let me get that ready to start up. So, what's on the other monitor? YouTube chat, mate. I'm running the ads over there as we speak. Yeah, YouTube needs monitoring nowadays. Needs keeping a handle on. All right, we are going to go into the NA server and get this ready to rumble. Mutas made more sense than Hydras. Yeah, Mutas would have been great. No, there's no answer. The thing from Shin is he doesn't have a lot of economy, so if you force him into a full tech switch, deal with something like Mutas actually would have been a great choice. Might have been the better choice, honestly, as apparently it's going to be Rex and MaxPax first. That's what I decided to make. I need a coin flip. Heads Rex. Tails MaxPax. It's going to decide the rest of the day. Tails MaxPax, so it's going to be Central West Central. And then Rex against ShoWTimE will be West Central West, and then they'll flip against Shin. So everyone will play 1 Central West Central and 1 West Central West game today. So in that regard, that'll be evened out. The first coin flip just decided which exact way it was going to go. Rex A, Max XP. Perfect. Alright. I'll get into this in a couple moments, guys. Just go on. Landed on the fly and I burst out OSRS immediately. I mean, I mean, like, you know, you land on the plane in Heathrow, it takes you like 25 minutes to get off the plane, man. Like, may as well get some AFKs in. Oh, I'm not messing around, you know. Excellent game from Shin. I'm a fan. Yeah, I'm a fan too. I like the mix-up, and a match we barely ever get to see. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Who's DMing me? Alright, just waiting a few moments, guys, to figure out some vetoes. They are vetoing, so that process is underway, so that's happening. Get this ready to roll out. I just got a message. I just got a message just like, hey Wardy, we know you can't cast this event next week because you're away, but we just extended it by a day, so it'll now finish on the Monday, so you can join us. I'm like, but my Monday cup, no. Why do everyone do this to me, you know? Ay, ay, ay. Pretty rough actually, because I'm losing my entire schedule of stuff. I guess I can move a couple things around actually. It's probably not going to be so bad. Yeah, I can move a couple things. Is it alright? That's a shame that it conflicts. Guys, the Monday Cup's every Monday. If you put your tournament on the Monday, it's going to conflict. Like, smash my head against the wall. Cool. Alright. We got our first map called as Old Republic, so we'll get this hosted up, see if I can beat MaxPax to it. I'm already a moment late though, so maybe not. And my maps aren't loading. It's also not going to help. I'm trying to host, but it ain't happening. Yeah, MaxPax beat me too, man. I think MaxPax hacked into StarCraft to delay me. Unbelievable. Alright, everyone's joined the lobby here. We just need a rec swapped up into the player slot. We're going to kick this off and get this ready to done. How much to hire me for an event? That really depends what kind of event you're running. I mean, maybe I'm cheap, maybe I'm not. Who knows? It reminds me I need to do my home story cup invoice. It's been a great couple of days, guys. I mean, outside of the wall getting stolen at Home Story Cup, the rest of it has been pretty darn great. I finally got paid by EWC, so I got my EWC money. I got a tax refund because I made no money last year. Well, I didn't make no money, but I made way less money in the last tax year than I usually do, so I got a freaking full-on tax refund. And got paid by EWC. And now I can get paid by Home Story Cup as well. We're basically rolling it. We also just had a great January and December on the stream. I do think February might be a bit slower, especially because I'm basically off the whole of next week, but I'm going to keep at it. So if you guys are enjoying the stream, then get yourselves one of them subs, and we're going to try and get back to 1,000 subs. I don't know how possible it is, but we can give it a go. We can give it a go. So get those primes active. Get it going. Oh, Echo Soldier with the 5 gifted subs to Wilson21, JBMC, Propaganda Artist, Lujo1, and Boomy. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted, mate. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Alright, let's see where the ZVP takes us, guys. It's gonna be a string of ZVPs, which means you've got Chatterbox Wardy, because I ain't talking about the early game of 4 ZVPs back to back. I'll tell you that right now. As we said, Proby is on the move and Extractor coming down. It's going to be seeing the hatch gas pool all coming about. Next is on the way over. Cybercore building. I'm just going to be seeing the hatchery and so coming up. So we get that underway. Just going to be seeing the probe continue to nibble around just for a little bit. And Cybercore Nexus both coming about. That's similar coming through. The pylon coming about as well. Just going to see the couple queens in the Overlord still building. Looking pretty reasonable in the terms of the early stages. You have that Cybercore is about to complete. And you got the Adept Chrono boosting out to the other side of the map. Wants to get across there and put some pressure on early, it would seem. No surprises about that, really. We'll see how well it goes. Had to pay into taxes last year. Let's hope it gets better this year. Surely if you have to pay into taxes, does that not mean that you just made more money, though? So isn't that like a good thing? It's like, I got a tax refund and that's amazing, but it also means that I earned significantly less than the year before. So it's like, I got a refund, yay, but I also earned way less. I mean, I guess it's a good thing because it's like, well, just by earning less, I got some money back because I'd already prepaid it, so it's nice to see money back, but yeah. No? Oh, I see, I see. That's why everyone forgets about taxation. I mean, there's a lot of clips and quirks to it, you know, so... yeah, there's a lot of different things to it. Yeah. It's okay. The Wardy stream's back on track. I'm actually... it's kind of sad because the money I get back from my tax I pretty much have to save because I'm pretty sure... because essentially in the UK you pay ahead a year, right? So I paid ahead... the money I'm getting back is my pay ahead for this year, and I actually owe way less tax. But if I start earning more, then not only do I have to then make up for what I didn't pay ahead this year, I have to then pay ahead for next year's tax at a higher rate, you know? So you basically start paying for say, just making some numbers up, but say like this year I paid 5k in tax, but next year's tax is 15k, right? Because of a significant increase. Then not only do I have to make up the 10k difference, but I also have to pay 15k ahead. So it's like you're almost paying like you have to pay double tax essentially to kind of get back on track. So this money, it's nice to see it, but it's like it's going in the bank account and it's not moving anywhere. It's just gonna sit and chill for the foreseeable future. That much is for certain. Anyway, Twilight Forge coming about. We take a couple moments here. We get set up. A gateway and so coming through as well. So we get a few different things on the way here initially. So just getting some bits and pieces up and running initially. And we get ready to figure out what's going to happen. You just have a savings now to deal with surprise taxes. Yeah. The good news is I don't really spend a lot of money outside of running StarCraft events, so usually I just have the money lying around if we need it. So. Cool, Oracle's gonna come about, Queen gonna come through. Oracle's kind of low. They're getting some damage on those. 3 drones, 5 lings. Honestly, not the best. From MaxPax, pretty decent defense out of Rex in the early game. You don't pay back tax that you made the year prior unless you didn't disclose what you made. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. My brain is beyond understanding this concept right now. I don't get it. I just know how it works for me, and I know what happens. Thumbs up. I think it's mostly because, like, so, for example, so the tax year ends in April, right? I could, as soon as the tax year ends in April, do my taxes, and then for July's payment that I usually make, they could be like, oh, here's your new number, we're going to fix it up already. But what usually happens is that it gets to April, and then I don't do my tax until later in the year because I'm a procrastinator. right? So I pay my July payment based on what they already know, and then I put my taxes in, and then they're like, oh, you need to make up this much for January. And it doesn't really matter when you do it, though, right? Like, at the end of the day, it's either going to go in there or it's not. So the number doesn't change. It's just when it gets paid, I guess. So you're going to see these couple of Adepts going ham. Man, this is such a good defense early from Rex, and now you just fall apart at 2 Adepts. 8 drones go down. That's really a shame, actually. It really is a bit of a shame. Actually, I do think my tax is changing this year because I have to do more frequent like digital tax stuff now. So I'm probably gonna keep up to it more often than before. But yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, it's mostly just the assignment of it, to be honest, but it's all good. Yeah, it's the timing of it's just a bit weird. Yeah, TLDR, got tax back. I'm gonna keep it for when I eventually have to pay tax again. But in theory, my tax is completely paid up until April. So, in theory, for the next 3 months, nothing I make gets taxed. I mean, that's also not how it works, but in my head, it feels good because the number only goes up for the next couple of minutes. Anyways, roaches, tunneling claws, +1 missiles, and burrow all coming about. We get ourselves the upgrades for MaxPax. I'm just really sad about those extra drones that died. They just, after such an honestly decent defense against the early opening, which is usually such an issue in the ZVP when you have like an underdog, right? Especially against someone like MaxPax, who is so good at making the most of his units. It is just such a shame to then see a bunch of drones die after it feels like we already did the initial kind of difficult part of it all. There's that Ling. Just gonna get picked away at a little bit. Gonna see the +2 attack going through. That storm on the way. Charge is about to finish. Just gonna see the units still gathering in the center. Just gonna see our Stalkers gathering. High Templar move through. We're just gonna have ourselves again the tunneling claws, +2 missiles, burrow upgrade all coming about. Stalker's gonna fight. A couple of roaches gonna take some damage. Another storm coming down for a Ravager, and the front is gonna continue to be pushed away. Amazing, the Zell's going to dive through. A bunch of drones going down. 7 probes, 6 drones. I mean, honestly, we do okay here aggressively as Rex, and now he's attacking out the front door as well. It's just a shame he's losing drones behind this. The counter-attack of MaxPax is the kind of thing that really kills you as a Zerg, where this damage was good, but being able to follow up from this is so important, and the follow-up is being killed as we speak. Tunneling claws, but we had detection on some of these roaches at least. The revelation here is going to stop a few of them as well. Scrambling forward, these Stalkers are going to get after those roaches. They get quite a bit of damage, honestly. Oh, there was honestly potential here for Rex, but like I say, that counterattack did a bit too much. And obviously he ran out of steam here a little bit. And then again, like I say, if you do some damage, you back away, rebuild, and go again, then it's great. But losing all that economy takes away from that possibility as well, right? So it kind of really just makes this a whole lot tougher for you. And the Stalker's going to blink over, the Roach is going to get caught. You know, just going to be seeing the last Roach going down, that Archon. Better help, the Immortal helping chase as well. So far, so good. Roaches will move around a little further, just going to come across there. The couple of Zell's going to try and get after a Queen, which burrows up and goes into hiding. I mean, Rex using all the little tools that he can to try and preserve units right now. I wonder if he could have just burrowed up a lot of the drones initially when he was losing a chunk. Might have saved him some of those drones. But obviously a little bit late to kind of think on that now. And something which, thinking about it in the moment, could have maybe helped. Because there's unlikely to be an observer there with the Prism harass, right? So maybe he could have borrowed the drones and saved them. Anyway. Just nitpicking something to think on in case you're doing this build yourself in the future. The kind of thing you can maybe use to help yourself out in a similar scenario. MaxPax, obviously, at this point, his army is looking strong. And it is looking very strong. So it is looking good for MaxPax here. This game one is definitely heading in his favor. And like I say, it was really a pretty good early game for Rex until those 2 Adepts eventually got a bunch of drone kills. But gives me a little bit of hope for this series. Rex, like I say, has definitely been on the up and improving lately. It's been fun to watch him play, but he's still definitely the underdog in this group. So, and I'd like to see him take a map though. And I do think he could take a map of one of these guys, given the right sort of setup and so we'll see. See, this game 1 is done, and MaxPax gets the GG to take the 1-0 lead in this best of 3. Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright guys, game number 2 coming up as soon as MaxPax hosts it up for us. We'll get straight into it and keep our games rolling here in the WardiTV Winter Cup. Again, these cups are it's kind of like build up into our championships. Our Winter Championship starts soon. I'm going to probably rejig a couple of the Winter Championship dates because I already planned it out. But I'm probably going to need a little bit more time to actually... For some reason, I've left a bunch of Sundays empty. I think I'm going to rejig a couple of things and just... Because I had to move a qualifier already. I think I'm going to take this Saturday off as well. So I'm just going to... I'm going to rejig a couple of things and... Oh, I probably left those empty for a reason now that I look at it. Yeah, because everyone's running events lately. Oh, yeah. Well, it might just be that I don't really get a choice, though. Might not get a choice. Alrighty. We are counting down into 10,000 feet. Let's jump into action. In the bottom right side, up one will be the red Protoss player, MaxPax, taking on the blue Zerg. In the top left, we've got Rex. Game 2 of this best of 3. Hey, Waddy, it was great seeing you at Home Story Cup. Such a great event and so much history with it. Hell yeah, man. Thanks for saying hi and thanks for going to Home Story. It really is an amazing event with, as you say, so much history. And it's when you stop and talk about, like, you know, previous Home Story Cups and it's like, man, I remember, like, when we were on the couch in the South seminars, like, we're talking about, like, previous Home Stories. I'm like, I remember Home Story Cup 6 Nurtio, you know, with the play against the DTs, you're like, right, you know, like, it's like, that was 24 editions ago. There's just so much Home Story. Wardy on Saturday was amazing. Mate, it was like, this was incredible. I was mostly just chilling downstairs after casting and stuff, and I was playing some RuneScape. I was like, I'm gonna go take a wander around and see who's around, see who can talk to and stuff. So I went on a little bit of a wander. This is, by the way, early gas pool, so I'll be very quick. Went on a bit of a wander. I started talking to a couple of my friends. And funny enough, we were talking about, like, especially like the UK guys used to be like the life and soul of the Home Story Cup party, you know? Like, they were always there being degeneratives and just being super drunk and just partying all night. And we were just chatting so well. It was like 1 a.m. and we were like, man, like, they just went to bed already. Like, it's so crazy. We're all getting old and we're just yapping. Anyways, one guy was like, you know what? We should at least have one drink. And so he was like, I'm going to get a vodka Red Bull. I was like, go on then, me too. I don't know why, but this thing tasted great. So I just downed it and I was like, that was it. The party began. It was the only drink I had, but they made the night a whole lot more fun. What can I say? Was I drunk by the end of it? No, I was at no point at any of this tournament drunk. Because this hatchery is fun because it blocks the Zealot in, by the way, so it's going to give the Lings a bit of freedom to kind of hit the gateway. The Adept very important because the Adept is something that actually can shoot across this gateway and actually then provide a defense against these Lings, while the Zealot is, like I say, walled in, giving the Lings free reign. The only problem with walling the Zealot in is that the Lings are walled off of the gateway as well, so not all of the Lings can hit at the same time. However, the distraction, Rex is going to be able to nibble through the minerals. He's going to gain access to the other side. As Ling speed kicks in, he's just going to run straight through into the main base. And MaxPax is fully focused on the low ground. He's going to go for a cancel on the Stargate. It's going to be canceled straight away. I was going to say, maybe we go after Probes here, because Probes obviously more permanent damage. As their depth shade up, he's going to run down. Now, there are batteries here. There is the Zealot here. We're going to go after the only pylon. Now, we can battery heal this pylon, so it does have a little bit of survivability to it. However, the Adepts get caught away from the batteries. Rex is going to kill both. He's now building spine crawlers, by the way, too. And this is beginning to work. I was going to say, I feel like Rex is just missing a few Lings, but he's obviously putting money investment into the spines. The hatchery is going to be dead soon because of the queen that's on it. Because of the Zealot that is on it, the Adept as well. Can the queen get out? That would be amazing if it can. Drop the creep tumor down would be incredible. Things up in the main base, they're going to back away. Okay, the hatchery goes down. The spines are still going to finish them. We're going to use these Broodlings as a distraction for the Lings to go after the pylon. Pylon has to be healed, but now the spines are finishing up, and we don't really have anything useful from MaxPax, especially considering we had a cancelled Stargate in this game. That gets heavily delayed from what it should have been. Now extra Lings showing up. I mean, Rex's economy is not great. Let's be realistic, right? He's on 13 drones. He's droned up a little bit already. And these spine crawlers are actually in an awkward position because they can't really move further forward. So that's kind of awkward for sure as well. Because these spines can't step forward because they have no creep to go step forward with. So the spines are in a bit of trouble too, but we will clean out everything on the low ground. I don't really know what kind of a position this puts us in. What a weird situation. What an absolutely baffling scenario. Oracle out. The spines are going to walk home. The spines don't take damage if they're unburrowed because of the lack of creep, so they will walk home, and they can get home to play defense, which means you will be then fairly safe for the future too. It's so sad you didn't get the queen and creep team, because then you could have maintained the spines in position. Yeah, okay, the Oracle may slowly pick through it, and there's only going to be like one queen there because the hatchery is still low, but it would be interesting to see the differences. We're running out of money to hide the drones as spore crawlers. Rex is going to have to cancel those, get a refund, although he will probably want to keep one of them finished up, because that just seems like a necessity at this point. I think it's going to run back on the other side. It keeps an Oracle at home. And obviously the fun thing is that those minerals are still mined out as well, so you still have that access point around that right side also. I love this conversation in chat, by the way. Was I drunk at the home story? The funniest thing is everyone's like, man, Wardy's wasted at the end because I did the speech. But actually, I was just really awkward talking in front of a room full of people. Because it's also like, it's one of those things where it's like, wow, what did you love about the event? I'm like, I don't know. Like, it was another StarCraft event, Dennis, another home story cup. It's like, so I'm just like, you know, you guys might not realize this, but talking in a room front, like stood up talking in a room in front of a room full of people is very different than just sitting down casting. I don't know, that's just a bit awkward. I was like, oh, it was just another home story cup, and then the whole crowd starts chanting. I'm like, yeah, that works. That'll do it. That'll do it. Yeah, everyone's like, man, Wardy's so tired. I was like, I was a little tired, but I wasn't like... And previous home story cups, I've been like, this is the first home story cup in a while that I've gotten to like the end of Sunday, and I've not just been like sick or dying or just something. Like overall, usually I get really sick at home stories. This time I was actually just really feeling good. Everyone's like, man, Wardy sounds dead. I'm like, fuck. It's like the first time I've not had, like, last home story was so bad. And we had this final that went super late into the night because the sellout segment was super long. I don't even think it was as late as this home story was. It was just, it felt so late because I was just stupid dead. My throat hurt. My head hurt. Was it that home story? I think it was last home story. Yeah, my throat hurt the entire time, so casting was just painful. Yeah. I get shit because I don't ever speak in the final segment. Well, because this is like, you don't need, like, I've been to, like, don't get me wrong, I've been to a lot of home stories and stuff, right? But what always happens in this sellout segment is that Roddy and Dennis start talking about the first home story cups. And I didn't go to the first 12 or so, right? And then what also happens is they start talking about Home Story Cup 20, the Home Story Cup everybody was at, nobody missed out on, apart from me. So I was the only person not there, so I also don't get to speak about this. So like they just keep talking about all of these things where I'm just like, I was not part of these things. It's like, you know. My favorite part of this one was that Dennis was like, he was like, well, you always have great ideas, you know, what should we do? I'm like, Dennis, if I knew how ideas to sell out, trust me, I'd be doing them myself. My best sellout is begging people to watch more StarCraft 2 and running more StarCraft. It's like, I have no good ideas for you. I'm not good at this. I'm really not. Then Roy's like, no, you got great ideas. I'm like, I do not have good sellout ideas. I'm terrible at selling out. I just cast StarCraft, man. Like, why does everyone think I'm a good sellout? Have you ever seen me do a successful like sellout where it's like, wow, well, if we do this, we'll actually do that? No, I never have these ideas. Come to NA and do a tournament with you? Yeah, sure. Find a venue and some prize money. Do an NA tourney. Why not? Oh, yeah. MaxPax obviously came across and bullied Rex a little bit at the end here. Man, really fun start of the game. I thought Rex might be in a better position coming out of it, but he was so low drone count for so long, it didn't matter how long he delayed that natural fall. I think he needed the creep to keep the spine there and to keep the pressure at the front a little bit. So yeah, GG's, GG's, GG's! We are going to go Rex ShoWTimE up next. This one will be Rex's server preference, at least. I'll get that ready to go in a few moments. I have good ideas that just sound stupid on paper. Like what? Like, what ideas have I had that sound like... I just don't have, like, sellout ideas like other guys have, you know? I don't have any of this. I just don't... my brain doesn't think in this way. I'm not creative in that sense. Have you seen my Kickstarters for things? It's like, hey guys, you can get the replay pack. And if you support even more, you can get a behind-the-scene Discord. The Christmas grab bag for high donations. Okay, the Christmas tree is a great idea, but also I've been doing the Christmas tree for, like, you know, 10 plus years now. So, like, and like, the grab bag for big donations is literally just like, I bought too many random extra decorations, so, you know, it was there. It's like, if you put the idea in front of me, I can piece it together, sure. Yeah. I sold out earlier, it's why you gave 5 subs. Yeah, but that's literally just me asking you guys to support, you know? Like, if Dennis is like, hey, Wardy, do you have any ideas for Home Story Cup 30? I'm like, yeah, Dennis, ask the people to give you money. Just ask them, you know? Like, I don't know why we're doing any of this. Just ask them, you know? Yeah. Alright, waiting for Rex to come out of game. He's just checking the replay for a couple of seconds, and we'll get ready to go. No rush. ShoWTimE, Rex B. Perfect. Alrighty, guys. I'm getting to the next one soon. He gifted 5 subs, best of 3, mouse only. And Messi open a mouse only best. Are you mouse only in as well? Or are we both mouse only in? No, or is it just me? Just me, I might be screwed. You suck, you get everything? Mate, there's no way I beat you mouse only. There's no shot. Wardy dancing at Home Story Cup 30. Will they start the stream with me dancing and the stream only begins when they pay enough to make me stop? It's a great idea. Yay. A couple of videos coming through, guys. ShoWTimE Rex is up next. Then we're going to have ShoWTimE Shin and MaxPax Shin. And then again, we could end the day with the PvP. We got some replays and stuff. I don't want this to just be like a 3-hour stream. I would like this to be like 4-ish hours or so. So yeah, well, we've got some replays. I want to do the several clam series from Home Story, for example. Especially because I was looking through my YouTube videos, and I went through like a week's worth of YouTube VODs, and there wasn't anything I wanted to put on YouTube. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, I have like 7 or 8 streams of content, and obviously next week I'm not here the whole week, so I've got like a whole extra week. Like, my YouTube is going to be so caught up. I'm actually worried I'm going to run out of games to put on, so little bit scary, but I'm sure we'll make it through. I'm sure we'll make something work out. You want to beat me up? I mean, I just can't give my time to getting beat up all the time. It's gonna do my ego in, you know. Yeah. Winter, Tourmaline. Try and get this host to see if my maps want to work. Yeah, my maps just are not hosting. Are just not loading. For whatever reason. Sweet. ShoWTimE. The dart professional. Man practices at home. He is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I really just think we could get a Wardy dartboard like over here. Like straight in front of me. The only problem is I currently have a StarCraft poster on the wall. But maybe we could take the StarCraft thing down, put up the dartboard, and just have it like interchangeable. Work in progress for sure. Work in progress. Alright, we're getting into this lobby, guys. Rex's BRB a couple moments, and we'll kick on into Series 3. And this WardiTV Winter Cup. Players already in the playoffs include Classic, Bjorn, Hero, Kira, Krader, and Yakov. And then obviously the top 2 players today will join them. Kind of hoping we get at least, well, kind of hoping Shin moves through, because obviously we do have a couple of Protoss already, but we'll see what gives us. We will draw the bracket on stream at the end of the group as well today, so we'll have the playoff bracket by the end of day 2. Sounds like we're good to go. Go gets cold. PvZ starts up. ShoWTimE versus Rex. Let's get this ready to rumble. Countdown is a go-go. Winter Madness. Let's load on in. Party on up. As we have got in the top left-hand side to start things off, the blue Protoss player. This is going to be ShoWTimE. Home Story Cup runner-up yet again, man. And this is the one he should have been a runner-up in against Clem, but it makes the previous 2 feel worse when it's like he takes down and Gumiho to the final game and you just can't get it done. That's the difficulty of the Home Story Cup. ShoWTimE, another great run, but still not the champ. Kind of crazy that Clem had never won a Home Story Cup before. It's a pretty wild stat. Pretty wild stat. How did I feel about Clem's casting? Oh, Clem's great. Clem's just great to talk to in general. Like, he's a little bit cheeky. He knows what's fun. He gets serious and gives us some proper insight. Rex in the bottom right side, by the way. How could he not love Clem? One of the best to do it, to talk about the game. Like, yeah. What a final. Yeah, it was a great final, just Clem good, man. Clem good. Clem's a cool guy. If Clem could actually play TVT, maybe his reputation would be better. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's true at all. Clem can play TVT. Clem beat freaking Maru on the biggest of stages in a best of 5 TVT. He absolutely can play TVT. He just found a matchup he prefers playing more. What's wrong with that? That's even more talented. That adds to his reputation more than it takes away from it. Because everybody, like, mirror matchups in general are volatile, they are dangerous, they are just, you know, you see more upsets player name wise in mirror matchups than any other matchup. So if you have the ability to practice another race to the extent that you can take away one of the most volatile parts of your gameplay, to me that is doing nothing but plain smart StarCraft. Should you continue for naming Terran players? I don't know what you're trying to do, you're just naming Terrans. I can name Protoss players if you want. Because he can't play TVT, he can play, like, he literally played TVT for years. Few drones coming around. I was just going to be having the Oracle Warp Gate coming up. It's going to be seeing the hatchery, the drones, the Queen continue to come by as well, so we get settled here. And some pressure on. A few drones go down, so ShoWTimE is going to get 4 drones and 3 lings with the Adepts initially. As can be seen, the Nexus and the Gateway continue to come around, so we build up there. And ShoWTimE, obviously, just with the Oracles coming out, we'll have more pressure available to kind of play onto the map in the near future. Just move that through and get that going, get that settled in. And yeah, Nexus and the Oracle still building about that hatchery coming through as well. Get this rolling. To have my own obs? No, I just, you know, all these community casters in other languages, I just use them as observers. It's really great. Yeah, people complain about my observing so much, I don't want to observe anymore, so I just, you know, just use everyone else's. You suck at observing? Yeah, it's this really good hack. You press Control-Shift-O, you look down the list and find the best observer there, you click on them, boom. That's great. Honestly, obsing isn't so bad. Obsing while casting, and especially obsing while streaming, is the worst. Like, obsing while casting, like, say you're doing a co-cast with someone, like, and something like, that's bad enough. Like, it's not great, but it's whatever. Like, I feel like that's fine. But while streaming is the worst, because while streaming, you don't always want to be looking at the game. Like, I've got a chat to entertain. I've got subs to sell out for, you know? Like, having to have my eye on the minimap 24/7, it ain't pretty, so, yeah. Now, obviously, Indy is also doing the wonderful world of stream, but he's just better than I am, and maybe he talks to his chat less, I don't know. But he also misses things. But the beautiful part of this, for me, is that when he misses something, I'm more likely to catch it. Because I'm not focused on making the camera look good, I'm also looking at the minimap sometimes and stuff, right? So, like, it's basically like co-casting. Because, like, there's two people kind of potentially who have the potential to catch things, you know? Two pros go down, the Ling's moving about. Quite a few sentries build up here from ShoWTimE, who that amount of sentries almost always feels like you're going to be pushing, because why the heck would you have that amount of sentries otherwise? And this is a Robo, so kind of interesting build. Just Robo, 6 gates, so we're just going to send it. A 6-gate shove from ShoWTimE. This is so uncharacteristic of the defensive kind of macro player. You know what? I think it's going to work wonders. Spire on the way from Rex, and he's going to get almost no chance to get into it, as we are just going to shove, and it's good old Immortal Sentry time, baby. It's good old Immortal Sentry time. Says to what's going down, that Overlord taking shots. Just going to see the Lings and picked away at as well. A couple of Queens getting jumped on too. And we are going to see a couple more warp-ins. It's 6 additional Stalkers being warped in the background. You see those Lings going to try and make that effort to get forward as well. So they're going to come straight through the front here. The sentries doing what they can. Force fielding stuff in. The Roaches getting bullied. Especially the one, you know, those Roaches there, they're getting kind of just forced into that position, so that's not exactly ending well. I think fair to say that this one is coming to a ShoWTimE favorite close, as he just shows up 6-gate, Robo, bam. Decent start as well at the first couple of Adepts or so, does a decent job, and puts himself in the lead, and he plays it out in wonderful fashion. 9-10 drones going down. Like I say, very unlike ShoWTimE. It's not a ShoWTimE kind of build, but I like the mix-up, and it's something that I think ShoWTimE can do every now and again as well. I like it here. It's cool to see something different from him, and yeah, it makes it look great while doing it as well, so why the hell not? Well, Stalker Immortal Zealot still here. I'm kind of casting this like it's over, and I'm going to stand by that. I do think it is over. I don't think these Roaches are going to break through. The thing is, it's like, the sentries are finally running out of energy, but like even down to the last force field, like the last force field here was also amazing. The Roaches never got a chance to truly press forward and to fight. And that's going to be GG from Rex. ShoWTimE taking game 1 of this best of 3. Rex is in this. You might be thinking, Rex getting beat up on. How's he in here? He played in the qualifiers, and while he didn't qualify, he was one of our best performing Zergs in the qualifiers. And as always, we like to reward the guys that play the qualifiers. So Rex received an invite based on his participation in the qualifiers. And like I say, Rex in general has been playing, I would say, been playing pretty well lately. Like, I actually have been enjoying watching Rex play and seeing him kind of do decently. I mean, in the qualifiers, he took a map of Classic, so this is what I mean. It's results like that, like games like that, where it's like he takes a map of Classic and he just has other solid results quite frequently. That's the sort of reason we see Rex in this event. And that's the sort of that's the sort of thing that these cups are for. To kind of give not just the top of the top a chance, right? So while Rex is maybe not having the best of days in terms of performing, in terms of maybe causing upsets, I still think it's nice to have him here and playing some games. We had a first cast together. How was it? It was beautiful. I can't believe I called you Echo Steel. This is like the craziest thing to me, though. Because, no offense to Echo Steel, I don't think I've interacted with this guy in my life. Like, I don't know, like, I don't even know where this came from. This must be, like, such an underlying, like, bias in my mind. This thing really baffled me. Like, jeez. Crazy. Yeah, I just don't know where it came from, you know? Like, I just absolutely clueless. Crazy. Crazy business. Alrighty, ShoWTimE in the upper right side is up a map in this BO3. Up by 1 against Rex, our red Zerg in the bottom left-hand corner as we get into game 2 of this series. You never see me in Logo's Discord and Slogo's stream. Like I go in Logo's stream and I've seen Echo Steel typing, right? I just wouldn't have said, like, if you told me to, like, name people from Logo's stream, I don't know if I would have come up with Echo Steel. It's just one of those really weird, like, underlying kind of conscious, like, underlying the conscious of your brain things, you know? I'm just like, it was wild. I was, like, genuinely baffled by the fact that this happened. Yeah, I was genuinely a bit baffled. You rebranded just to Echo? Yeah. Yeah, then Loco messaged me, he's like, my mods are loving it. My mods are loving it because I do it all the time too. I'm like, that's great, but, like, you know, they're both in your chat talking all the time at least, you know? Like I said, I probably have interacted with Echo Steel, but it really is on, like, a very minute basis. Ay. This really blew my mind for some reason. Ay. Little probe and drone. I'm gonna dance back and forth a couple of moments. Speed Queens, the Lings all building through. Take a couple of moments there. The Nexus and the Adepts coming through for a few moments as well. I actually had a bunch of fun cast this Home Story Cup. Who else did I really enjoy casting with? I actually really enjoyed casting with Lirimbo and Led Alex. There was one time I think Fiant and Alex casted, and Alex had to cast a TVZ, and I feel like he was a little bit afraid of talking in it, but those were fun. I cast a series with a couple of series with Drogo were fun. Who else did I cast with? I feel like I had a lot of fun cast this Home Story. Sometimes you sit down on the couch at Home Story, you're like, oh god, I've got no idea what this is going to be like. And sometimes the end result is exactly what you thought it was going to be. But I really don't think I had this Home Story Cup at all. I'm trying to think, who else did I cast with? What did I think of inviting just random person to fun cast together? What, on my stream? You got an ASL sound guide? We all got an ASL sound guide. Although you got an ASL sound guide without an ASL sound guide. You NASL sound guide yourself. Yeah, on my stream, I think it's a terrible idea. Anytime, I mean, the TLDR, super quickly because I talk about this a lot, but TLDR, co-casting turns down stream interaction, which turns down the amount of support we get for tournaments. So, co-casting on my stream is generally not a good thing, even if we just have, like, actual other people like host them. Like, people love it, but it gets rid of the support which we rely on to do things, you know? So, it's not something I'm ever going to chase further. It's just not how the stream works. As crazy as it sounds, it just doesn't work well. Lings is going to jump onto this Nexus, going to put some damage out. The Adepts is going to get there, push the Lings back a little bit. Robot Facility Forge, and the Twilight Council keep building through. The Nexus building, the Rotron, Feelings coming up, getting that all underway. It's unfortunate any stream with Hostiles a banger. Yeah, but I mean, you also got to think of it like this, right? You may think, oh, that's sad we don't get it more, but it also has to be worth it for Hearthstone too, right? And Hearthstone has its own content to make as well. So it's not like this fact is costing us having Hearthstone on the stream every day or something. And the reality is we don't make enough money to pay a co-caster, so like that's why we do it the way we do. Where if someone wants to join us to cast, I generally just say yes. Like there's a couple times I say no, like Lambo asked me recently, or Hearthstone asked me recently, and I said no. Because I had like a Wardy announcement to do, so I was like doing a lot more kind of off-topic talking and stuff than talking deep about the game. But like, you know what I mean? Like generally, if someone asks me to co-cast, I say yes. Just they also don't have all the time in the world, you know. So, and we can't afford to pay people, so it really is on a volunteer basis. So then it just works out like as like a pretty good amount of what we do. Where like those days where we do co-cast is less support, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like it's not like it's every day, so it's like completely eaten into, you know, a generation of subs and revenue and stuff, you know. What's up, D-Farrow? Thank you so much for the 4-month resub on the Prime. What do you do more for ST than Blizzard did in over a decade? Blizzard did a lot in the last decade. I know they've not been so active recently, but I don't think we can say quite the last decade. I appreciate the support, though. Thank you for the 4 months. Thank you for priming us up. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Good devs and the oracles gather around in the center. It's going to be seeing the +1 the blink coming through, and we do have our +1 missiles, Hydro Den coming up. So Rex trying to get into those Hydras. It's not been a pretty early game. I've been yapping with chat, but we did see 11 drones going down if you've been watching the screen. Phoenix and 2 Adepts go down for those 11 drones. This definitely feels like ShoWTimE is in a pretty convincing position through and through at the moment. Don't really feel like this is going negatively for him at all. It really does feel like he's in complete control of this game right now. As the Adept Stalk going to gather up, a couple of those lings begin to go down, so we do get a few of those picked away at right off the bat. I'm just going to see the Stalkers and the Adepts continue through, going toward a couple more of those Queens, trying to put a little bit more pressure in here, just for now as well. Which might just end this game, as ShoWTimE has a little bit of an army supply lead, good amount of Stalkers, blinking back a few of them, keeping this going. Yeah, I think this one might just be over. Every day is definitely too much. Yeah, I mean, some people really think that it's terrible not having a co-caster every stream, but like, yeah, I mean, it's almost like all the community casters solo cast, and there's almost like there's a reason for it, you know. It's almost like we figured out what works, and like just because Reddit or Twitch chat doesn't wants us to co-cast everything, it's almost like it's unfeasible. Crazy, isn't it? GG says Rex, says ShoWTimE is going to have enough to power through into the 2-1 victory. 2-0 victory, and will advance through to 1-0 start in this group. So this kind of becomes a 3-player group, unfortunately, for Rex, because obviously he goes 0-3, 0-6. So this is straight up just MaxPax, Shin, and ShoWTimE, and there's definitely a little bit of tiebreak potential here as well, especially if we see a couple more 2-0s. So we'll see what happens there. So yeah, we'll get into Shin versus ShoWTimE up next, and then it's Shin versus MaxPax, and then MaxPax versus ShoWTimE is what's coming up, guys. So looking forward to a couple of games here. Get into these in a moment. Let me just get this hosted up and ready to party in to this series. So ShoWTimE just played West, so now ShoWTimE is going to play Central. It is ShoWTimE Shin next, right? Just double checking. It should be, because it's designed so that everyone plays at least 2 matches in a row. So it's usually like you play either 1 match, a break, and then 2 matches, or you play 2 matches, break 1 match, or if you're Rex, you play all 3 in a row. It's basically designed so you're not like playing a match waiting, non-stop basically is the main goal of the scheduling. Shin gonna veto Potatoes to Dell to start us off, get us underway. ShoWTimE gonna veto Mothership, so we're on our way with the vetoes. Get this ready to party on. Perfecto. I think this is where the group gets exciting. I think before now, definitely Rex was the underdog and looking for some upset potential. I thought he could have maybe taken a map. I actually think that map he proxied against MaxPax had some good potential in it, just did not quite go his way in the end. Such is life. So yeah, I'm kind of into seeing what happens now. So we head into the Shin versus ShoWTimE series. We'll kick this off in a couple moments. We'll get this PVZ ready to go. Do 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 do. Vito's coming on by. Say Shin versus ShoWTimE coming on up, guys. We'll get into this very shortly. We've got a minute on ads, and then I'm gonna warm up for the sellout. We're gonna turn some viewer support into money. Well, maybe not, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try. I keep looking at the Patreon. I'm genuinely boggled by how good the Patreon's doing. The Patreon's at 1.3k, which is just crazy. The amount that we're going to be able to do with the Patreon being just a little bit higher than what it was is just really, really crazy. So, very exciting. Although, I'm mostly meant to be saving this speech for the sellout portion. Do some stretches, guys. Don't ever let them say you can't stretch in your chair. I just showed you how. Boom, boom, boom. Tourmaline going to be our opening map. Are my maps working yet? Hey. They fixed themselves. How lovely. Love that for us. Alright, Shin ShoWTimE coming at you here, guys, in just a couple seconds. All right. Ryung joined us here, and I just had a funny interaction, not with Ryung actually, but with SOS, because when we were at Home Story Cup, someone asked SOS, someone was like, "Where's Ryung?" And SOS said, SOS was like, Ryung can't come today. Too old. Too old. So I was just asking Ryung where he went, and just letting him know that SOS called him out for being an old man. So yeah, just having a fun moment. Oh, I was meant to sell out. I forgot to sell out. Okay, we'll sell out at the start of this game, guys. We'll sell out at the start of this game. Let's do that. Because it's PVZ. We're gonna have a moment or two, unless Shin proxy hatches to chitter chatter here, I'd imagine. As we start off in the bottom left-hand side, we're going to begin things off with the red Protoss player. This is going to be ShoWTimE, picking off this BO3 up against Shin in the top right corner of the map. So some PVZ right here. Big game already, I think, really. Every map is going to count right now. You're in a three-way. You know that no one lost a map to Rex, and that really does mean that three-way tiebreaks are a possibility, but that gets broken if you drop a map and other guys don't. So map score becomes super important here. Even if you just steal a map, that could maybe make the difference as well. Like, say ShoWTimE loses this series 1-2, and then he beats MaxPax 2-0, for example, or something, and then Shin beats, MaxPax beats Shin 2-0. ShoWTimE would then be the player with the +1 map over everybody else, right? So that's where, like I say, that's where things could really get very decisive. So every map going to be quite important here as we get ready to go to this matchup. So we'll kick this off, get this rolling, and we have this PvZ up and running now. As we have a few moments early game, I'm going to do a little bit of selling out, guys, because this is a Wardy event. You might have noticed by the fact it's called the WardiTV Winter Cup. What? No way. Crazy business. So yes, WardiTV Winter Cup, and you guys know what that means. Wardy events need support to happen. So if you guys are enjoying the content, if you're enjoying the tournament, I know this one's taken a while to, has taken a while to kind of get going and everything, and, all the rest of it, then, yes, whatever. But we've got the Winter Championship coming up as well. All of this happens with your guys' support, and the most important thing for the WardiTV 2026 series is to support the Patreon page. Patreon.com/WardiTV, as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen right now. Patreon.com/WardiTV or !Patreon in the Twitch chat. Get yourselves supporting there, guys. If you enjoy what we're doing and you want to see us do more of it, then check out Patreon, because 100% of anything that goes into the Patreon goes back into WardiTV tournament prize pools. So 100% check out that Patreon page, support us, because it allows us to do more StarCraft 2 in the future. And right now we're running at the highest level of support we've ever had on Patreon, and you will see that reflected in the prize pools of our events. You will see us more consistently putting out events towards the 5k marker than the 2 to 3k marker. And that is purely because you guys are giving us that baseline level of support on the Patreon. It allows us to go and kind of, like I say, push that a little bit further. So thank you so much if you do decide to support on Patreon. Of course, if you don't want to check out the Patreon, there's other ways to support too, subscribing. If you're on the YouTube channel, please take a moment to like and subscribe as well. Obviously, that is free and easy. And obviously, you can prime sub and stuff on Twitch too. But again, the big thing we're pushing, especially for WardiTV events, for WardiTV 2026, is going to be the Patreon, because it really is going to allow us to do a lot over the course of this year. And we are going to be announcing the full 2026 series properly soon, probably next week. So that's coming. That information is on its way. And the Patreon just allows us to do more and more and more. So check that all out. We appreciate you guys. All right, sellout completed. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. All right, how are we guys doing? Let's see how this game goes as we get this PvZ underway. Worked on you, Echo. Yeah, I saw you just became a Patreon medja. This Echo guy, man, just leading by example. Sold out about subs earlier, bam, subs. Sold out about Patreon, bam, he's a Patreon pledger. Man just loves StarCraft, and he loves being sold out too, it seems. Couple links go poke at the front. Stalker will be hang. As the Oracle comes over, just going to chase those lings back a little bit. Resonating Glaives coming through. We're just going to have ourselves the Oracle about to finish. A few gates in that Nexus all coming by, so again, a lot of that coming up just for a little bit, and a few lings going to step forward. The Adept gets warped in, looking to be a bit of defense. Just going to be seeing the lings continue to move about. It's be hard to sell out after Home Story Cup. I think Home Story Cup's a bit of a different way that people sell out, because I think people see Home Story Cup, and for them that's like something they support once every year, or twice every year or so. I think it kind of eats from a different pool of resources than like when I sell out for my events, right? And because people for Home Story Cup throw that money in, and they like Home Story Cup, they want to see Home Story Cup, right? But then people, if they want to see my events, I feel like they always still come out and support as well. I don't know. I feel like tournaments that take kind of regular support, like an RSL, or like, for example, Pigs tournament coming up, I feel like that maybe combats us more. We definitely saw that last year when we tried to do the crowdfunding push for WardiTV 2025. It came straight after the RSL announcement. It came after Pigfest, and it just flopped, like dead on its face. And that was really my fault. I probably should have just seen that it was really going to be a bad time to do it. But it flopped hard when we crowdfunded last year, so that's why we're pushing our crowdfunding for 2026 series entirely to Patreon this year, because it's something that can obviously be supported throughout the year, and it doesn't just have to be one big push, and it kind of gives people a way to kind of consistently support the tournament series, which I think is very important too. These Adepts, interesting start, right? I mean, they only get 2 drones, but you do force a bunch of Banes out, and the Banes have to use themselves up to kind of save the day here. 4 drones go down. We have more Adepts showing up, so we're not done yet at ShoWTimE. It's a beautiful block with the Queens. Able to minimize a lot of what's going on there initially, at the very least. Queen's going to shoot. Adept goes down. 7 drones being killed. Just going to clean that out as Adept's going to move up the right-hand side as well. Couple of stage swords coming through. I also think something else about the Home Story Cup crowdfunding is that a lot of the Home Story Cup crowdfunding is also not like people are like, it's not like people are breaking the bank on funding Home Story Cup. They just have a lot of support, you know? And yeah, some people obviously go for much bigger donations, do not get me wrong. But the guys that are donating big time to Home Story Cup, I think are not necessarily the guys who are supporting the WardiTV events on like a weekly basis or like, you know, on a monthly basis or something either, right? Like, I don't necessarily think there obviously is crossover, but like, some of these guys just love Home Story, they love going to Home Story, they love watching Home Story. So when they drop a bunch, I just, to me, that's money that was always going to Home Story, and it just wasn't ever going to go into a Wardy event. So I don't know how much it really does affect the Wardy selling out. You guys are going to see the sub count drop over the next 2 weeks and be like, we told you, but you know, I'm just not streaming next week, so the sub count's probably going to drop off a bunch. I'm going to see if we can... My goal is to try and get us back to 1,000 subs before I go away next week. If we can do that, that'd be... I mean, we're like 110 away. It's not impossible, it's not easy either. We're probably due to drop a few more in the next day or two, to be honest, but we'll see. We will see. Subathon time? No, I'm not subathoning. The concept of subathoning, like, I feel tired just thinking about it, you know? Feel tired just thinking about it. Going anywhere fun? Yeah, so on Tuesday, me and Helen are going to like a concert thing, and then on Thursday I go to the Pokemon European International Championships to get my Pokemon cards beaten up and to get sat. I'm feeling confident though. I played pretty well in Birmingham a couple weekends ago, but I got some bad matchups and stuff, but I played pretty well, so I'm hoping I can win a couple of matches maybe. Which Pokemons am I running? No joke, I'm running Charizard. It's the last event which I can compete at where Charizard is going to be legal, or this version of Charizard before it gets rotated out. And this deck is... It's not the same deck, but it's very similar to the deck I ran when I got my first ever, my only ever Day 2 at an event. I got top 128 at a regional back in 2023. So it's a similar deck, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to run it back for... I'm going to run it back for the last event I can run it back for. So, yeah. Running it back. Seeing what we can do. What's the prize in the Pokemon tournament? I think that overall prizing is like 50 to 100k or something. I'm not sure. It's pretty sizable. I think first place gets like between 10 and 20k. I promise you guys, if I win the Pokemon tournament, I will spend it all on the StarCraft event. We're going to take Pokemon money and make it our money. Well, these couple of lurkers are trying to hold on. ShoWTimE just did a bunch of damage. A lot of work is going down. And we probably focus up, guys. Stop distracting me. Yeah, I know you Twitch chat. But real talk, 23 drones just went down. ShoWTimE with a pretty successful attack thus far. Taking a bit of a supply lead here. Putting himself in a good solid position, and now he's getting Tempest and the Mothership out as well, so he's really progressing his state of this game into something that is, in general, overall, very, very beneficial to him. So that part is looking absolutely beautiful. We'll see where we continue to get to as Ling Hydra Lurker continues to join up and gather in as well. So we get all of that on the way, and we get this up and running. Why is my Take TV channel so racist? I mean, it's... First of all, I don't see how it's racist. I don't know what you've seen make you think Take TV channel's racist. But secondly, it's also not my channel, so... Oh, yeah. This is a random ass comment out of nowhere. Jeez. For Robin Hooding the Pokemoning? Yeah. We're gonna take from the rich of Pokemon and give to the poor of StarCraft. Oh, yeah. Baited? I didn't get... you can't say I got baited by reading out a dumb comment. Baited is when you get a response from me, no? That's why I'm like... this was just so stupid, how could it ever be bait? You know? Like, every part of this sentence is just plain delirium, you know? Dude's got no idea what freaking year he's in, probably. Okay, so Shin's gonna get close to max now. Like I say, ShoWTimE with the damage done has given himself a good amount of time to set up in the game against this. It's a nice catch against these ults, and they will not go far. They get shut down pretty nicely. These lurkers coming over. ShoWTimE has units here. Doesn't have storms here, though. We do have the Tempest. We are going to just start backing up quickly. Ling, Hydra, Lurker going to go to the left-hand side. ShoWTimE has a few zealots spotting for this, so we're going to try and multi-prong around. I was going to say, he must have more units to the left because he didn't have a lot to the right. They're more central, but they're able to peel to the left easily. Lurker's burrowed up to hit this mineral line, but ShoWTimE sees it quickly. He responds very well, and he's already kind of pulling out of any troublesome position there as the zealots keep on chasing for a couple of Hydras, for a couple of Lurkers. Nice shutdown for the moment. Lurker coming through, a few more Lurkers coming back over. Just going to be seeing the Tempest going to get rid of one of these Lurkers right off the bat. Just going to be seeing the second one getting chased as well. Just going to be seeing another couple storms coming down the Zerglings, taking some more damage here. Just going to be having the storm coming down the Lurkers once more as well. And just going to see those Tempests continuing to chase in after these Lurkers. So right now, continue to push that back. Those Lurkers get chased away back to the middle of the map for the moment. +3 attack, +1 shields, +2 air weapons also coming into play. Nexus and cannons building through. The Corruptors all producing. As Shin prepares himself against the Tempest a little bit with the Corruptors at least. But I do love, to me, ShoWTimE's army is just everything he wants it to be. And if ShoWTimE's army is everything he wants it to be, that means he's in a very confident and just good position overall, no? Like, it really feels like he is where he wants to be at this current point in time. So, definitely should be feeling pretty decent about that as the Lurkers here just going to be forced to push away. So, yeah, nice from ShoWTimE able to stand up against that and to turn that away already. Really kind of, you know, it's funny because Shin is... These two really kind of have that clash of styles. ShoWTimE really is the player who likes the later game. Shin really is the player who likes more of the mid-game and the aggression, but this game's already turned over to that kind of later stage. So we're really kind of playing in ShoWTimE's element here, and this is why you really get tested as a player. Playing away from kind of your comfort zone, which I think is very much so where Shin is at right now, like out of his comfort zone. So it'll be very interesting to see how this comes about. There's a couple storms coming down already. Just going to hit a couple of those Lurkers. We will see Adrenal Glands, +2 melee, +1 fire attack. Building up as well, a couple Spine Crawlers still poking around, a couple of Lurkers will shoot at those Zealots. The Lings are going to run forward, looking to try and get a wrap around for the next few moments. Going to drop a recall, Lurkers get burrowed. It's a pretty decent catch from Shin. While the Lurkers were a little bit late, that's really just a saving grace of ShoWTimE because he actually took a lot of damage anyway. Nice storm there. The cannons are going to deal with the Lings. It's mostly Lurkers, honestly, plus the Corruptors, of course. What I am concerned about is, do we have enough storm to deal with the Corruptors? Or just anti-air in general? We've got a couple of Archons. I was going to say, it's scary because the Corruptors flew over the mineral line, so if you actually stormed them, you would have stormed your own probes, but most of them go down anyway. This fourth base goes down. So Shin is going to knock a base down. ShoWTimE trying to recover at this point in time already. Again, +2 melee coming up, +2 flyer attack is on the way, Hydras and drones coming through. The Changelings going to step forward here as well. They get shut down pretty darn quickly, so they're going to get knocked away at just like that. And we still continue to go back and forth and just scrap it out for a few moments here. These Archons going to take their steps in. Let's see a storm onto the Lurkers. Just try and break through that. That storm has done a lot of damage. Those Lurkers did not really move out of it quickly at all. ShoWTimE has to kind of run while he takes damage here. The Hydra's going to get the Mothership at least. The Tempest still running too. We've got a good few Archons. They just need to get like under the Corruptors. So many of these Corruptors are low. It's another nice storm. Can these Archons just turn and fight? They can't. Zealots do get rid of a base though, so that knocks Shin back down to 5 bases as ShoWTimE tries to reestablish his 5th. It will mean that we're kind of an equal base count Protoss versus Zerg here. Keeps us very much so in a more comfortable position as the Ling Lurker gathers up. Just going to see the extra Lurkers coming around. Tempest, High Templar, Immortal continuing to come through. It's a banger game. It is a banger game. ShoWTimE had a very good setup initially. Shin's had some good fights and brought himself way back into this from my expectations at least as well. And now we're actually still maxed out on both sides, and Shin is definitely, like I say, has been showing us some fights where it's like, okay, well, man's definitely competitive, you know, we can't really doubt what he's been able to achieve so far. Let's see if he can keep that up as the Hydras and Lurkers push around the left-hand side here. ShoWTimE, the good news is that kind of sitting defensively on this map is pretty reasonable. Like, you get a pretty decent setup of bases to kind of go with, so kind of rotating from one to the other is not too bad. And you're going to see another Zealot attack is going to need to do some work because we're losing a lot of probes. So we do need to get some more work done ourselves to try and undo some of that. At least Spine's still firing, the Zealot's still taking hits. Next is going to end up going down right here. Just going to see those couple Lurkers getting after the Zealots as well. So just going to clean those out also. We are going to be finally clearing this up. They were very annoying. And that said, ShoWTimE's up about 40 army supply right now. And it does feel like if he could just find a bigger fight, might actually be very good for him, but if he wants a bigger fight, it might have to be on creep, and that might be enough to just scare ShoWTimE away from this entire idea of like, hey, I can just push forward and try and make something happen right now. So we'll see what happens there. One probe pulls out to the left-hand side. We drop a little Nexus into place. A couple Hydras and Vipers all coming through. And as we set up here just for the moment. Again, those 8 workers going down. And we step forward. Like I say, ShoWTimE's army is pretty heckin' huge at the moment, so gonna definitely try and make something happen over these next few moments and step through, see what we can get done. And ShoWTimE's economy is not amazing, so there is a fear of kind of losing a fight and having to rebuild is not really there for him as much as it might usually be, but oh man, a little bit of a believer right now in this ShoWTimE army, because the thing is, it's not like Shin has a bank either. Shin's also only 66 drones. And he's also only 4 bases. ShoWTimE did a great job with the Zealot run by knocking bases down. That has been imperative to his future success here, because I do think if he didn't knock those bases down, Shin, if he was on like a 1k or 2k bank right now, probably attacks and just sends it and then rebuilds and goes again. I'm not sure how well ShoWTimE would then deal with that, because like I say, as you can see, it's definitely been a little bit funky in that regard in general. So yeah, definitely an interesting scenario through and through. I see a couple units showing up already. They're going to come straight over. Lurker still firing. A couple drones going down early on. So some damage being dealt there right away. Lurker, Hydra, Corruptor. Little bits of everything, like I say, just coming through, getting settled down. It's going to see the Archons and the Tempest and the Mothership still hanging out overhead as well. These next few moments, units gather up. Hydra Lurker pushing down the bottom left. Storm comes down immediately. Storms come straight into place. Again, batteries and the cannons coming up as well. +3 missiles and the 2 spank rolls all coming through. Just got a lot of that continuing to come up and into play right now as the Lurkers will continue to head down the left side of the map with a few Hydras here. Again, set to go. Little Stasis Ward going to pop. Doesn't do too much. Nice Storm at least onto the Lurkers. Will slow things down at least a little here. +3 missiles and the Hydras all still continuing out into play at the moment. And yeah, the cannons, the batteries, the +1 air armor, all of that continues through. The Tempest going to get some shots off, nice feedbacks. I'm actually going to kill some of these Vipers as well as the ShoWTimE still finding value. Kind of fun. ShoWTimE has some more money now. He has also kind of lost the army supply edge that he has as both players have kind of built into larger armies. Like I said, that's interesting for Shin because Zerg usually does need to rebuild and go again. You're not going to be able to do that if you're working off this lower work account, right? So it still feels like Shin overall is in a bit of trouble right now. ShoWTimE takes a chance to move to the left side, pops the cloaking on the Mothership, and just tries to capitalize on those stasis units. But as he moves left, the other units move right, and the central position becomes more of an issue too. This forward Nexus taking damage. ShoWTimE just doesn't want to go diving in too quickly. He's going to find 1 Storm, 2 Storms, trying to force the Lurk to turn away, and I think it's going to be fine. It's like I say, just got to be careful about the Corruptors. Ling Hydra going to counter the 6 o'clock base at the same time, but now ShoWTimE says not enough Lurkers. He dives in, and it's at a good time too, because he's just about having to deal with the army on the left side at the same time. He's going to deal with that very aptly, especially after he's cleaned out this middle army, and Shin's supply went down. And like I say, the economy is not really there for Shin. The Zerg who needs to rebuild and go again doesn't have the eco to do so. ShoWTimE chipping through the economy the entire way through this game has been absolutely phenomenal for him, and really has made such a massive difference start to finish in this game. As now here we are, ShoWTimE 180, 190 supply to the 110 of Shin, gets the GG, and ShoWTimE starts this series off with a 1-0 lead in the matchup. So ShoWTimE gets the 1-0 edge, heading into a game 2 here then in a couple seconds, and kicking this off to see who will get the next edge in this. Like I say, ready to go in a moment or two. Let's just double check on the players, what they're going to get up to here, and what the map is going to be. I have to run ads as well after a longer game, so let's not forget to do that. Be smart. Second map was Celestial. This will switch over to Shin's server preference for Celestial. I don't see Celestial a lot, actually, so, yeah. Here's an interesting map for us to jump onto here. Shin has proxy hatched a good amount on this map previously as well, so that's also something else we could maybe look at on this. My maps are loading so slow today. So heckin' slow. All good. Let's back on track, ready to go in a moment. ShoWTimE versus Shin. Got a bunch of people in this lobby already. I think we're about to be good to go. Ready and go. Perfecto. Double check we've got everyone on my friends list in here because, like I say, it's they've had a few extra casters join us. Just trying to make sure I'm not forgetting anybody. Hate to leave someone behind if I can just take a moment to check. Archon in PvZ is just overall so insanely strong. It is, but like there are weaknesses to the Archon too. Like it does have short range, right? Like a lot of Archons sometimes struggle. I think it works really well just because of the situations you find yourself in, where Archons are just so good defending against, you know, for example, the Surge of Corruptors overhead. Like they have to spread out, otherwise Archons will just shred them. Obviously, they're very tanky in certain scenarios too. They do have their weaknesses though, but yeah, it's hard to really speak against the Archon, especially when they come from your High Templars that get drained of storm energy after you've already stormed a bunch of stuff, right? So yeah. All right, game number 2 in the bottom left-hand side. The red Protoss player is going to be ShoWTimE. Some weaknesses, they don't fly. A great one. Compo. Well, now we're really exploiting the downside of the Archon. Oh yeah, let's not say all these things. Protoss players might look for a buff. New Archon upgrade, longer arms. Honestly, Archons with like more range would be so nutty, no? Be absolutely crazy. We're gonna just nibble off on this hatchery that is in base, so ShoWTimE will have to deal with this. But knowing about it is usually step 1. He's gonna start getting his Zealot on the way. That's obviously gas pool behind this, but no hatchery at home from Shin, so fairly committed in the early stages to start us off. You see that hatchery gonna come down to the side. The Cyber Core coming up. The Zealot on the way. Adding a probe. There's little bits and pieces coming through for the moment. Imagine a flying Archon alongside a flying mobile overchargeable shield battery. StarCraft 3, all units abide by the laws of physics, aka we're in space, so everything floats. Everything now floats. Sick. Alright, Zealot Proby. I'm gonna throw a few shots in. This hatchery taking damage and Adept will show up as well. Have that Roach run about to finish up. Hatchery still building by. Let's just bring a lot of that through for first couple of moments here. Get that underway. Get that started. And see where we're gonna go for the next few moments. It's gonna be seeing the Zealot and the Adept gonna swing onto the hatchery for a little bit of time. Get some damage out for a few moments as well. Some damage done. We're gonna kill it, but a few Roaches get out at least, so they're gonna be able to step through as well. We'll at least be able to do a little bit of something for the moment. The Roaches, they'll get rid of a few probes, so we just don't have a lot of damage output, right? And Adept does not do a lot to these Roaches. Obviously, Shin is invested into doing this, like it's not going to be a free commitment from him, but I mean, killing 9 workers definitely feels like we're starting off on the right foot for putting you in a good position early. Hard to really disagree that this is not looking somewhat good, somewhat good for you right now. Just takes a couple extra hits, finally goes down. 11 probes dead. ShoWTimE trails by 9 workers following this, but Shin is still only a 2-base Zerg, no 3rd hatchery yet, so he has to invest into that. It's hard not to say like that's a lot of worker damage, but ShoWTimE is definitely behind from where he should be. But I don't know why. I feel like I'm not as bothered by it as I should be. Maybe I just see the Oracle having a lot of opportunity, but then again, we are going to be on 3 queens soon. We'll see what ShoWTimE can do kind of on the follow-ups here, because I think that is going to be the important part of this. Kind of coming back across the map and seeing if you can get some damage done. For example, killing an Overlord would be nice to slow things down, but that's just going to get to the high ground, so it is going to be safe until the Oracle gets there. And then you are going to get shut down, so Oracle helps to get the kill with the high ground vision. And a lag spike. You'll love to see it. From Rex. Oof. Rex is so mad. He's like, why didn't I just build a proxy hatch and get 3 or 4 roaches to kill 11 workers early game and put me in an amazing position? Ah! Let's see what ShoWTimE can do with the harassing units as we come out of this 8 pause. Because yeah, I mean, if they are going to find some damage, that'd be neat, but so far the Queen zoning is very good. ShoWTimE is going to get through. The only issue I have for ShoWTimE is that he might feel like he needs to force something here because of the damage he's taken. And if you're trying to force something, that's when you make mistakes a lot of the time, right? However, the Adepts and the Stalk over here are going to have free reign of the natural. There's a Queen showing up, but we can absolutely kill some drones. There's going to be a bunch of workers going down, and that's why you don't call a game like this over until it really looks over, because especially with the counterattack potential, because there's no link speed and so on, there's just always going to be a bit of opportunity, and this is already going to be 7 drones in the bin right from the get-go here. And now we're at 8. These Adepts are still healthy. We just got surrounded on one of them, but it's not going to matter yet. Going to get 9 workers killed. Now the few Lings chase across. 10 workers killed. 11 workers killed. That is going to be the bounce back from ShoWTimE. And just like that, who's leading the work account? ShoWTimE is. Never doubt the man who has Adepts to harass with. There's actually very good movement from him. The Oracles took the attention, so he hit the natural. As the Queens came down to the low ground to play defense because there's no units out, the Adept shade to the high ground, back to the low ground again. Just moved everything kind of in what I felt like was the better kind of way, in like the correct sort of way to give you a good chance. Some Lings on the counterattack now, because this is a game where we just lose workers consistently on no matter which player you are. 4 more probes go down, and Shin retaking the lead with a big round of drones or 2 as well to reset things a little bit. Oracle is going to run out of energy. He had the Lings cornered and it ran out of energy, and the Lings survived through to the main base again. Yeah, because this is just that kind of a game, as the battery is actually going to save a probe. It's that kind of game too. But it's actually devolving into a little bit of straight up pure chaos. Ling on the low ground gets taken out, the probes get there for a little surround and nibbles. It's going to see the Adept going to come shading through. Twilight Council, Nexus probes, all building up for the moment. There, drones, Lings, Overlords producing. The Oracle's back up to the top. There's going to be a couple Queens nearby. We're going to get a drone between the bases right off the bat. Starting off with that, and then going from here, coming through, those drones in production, still got Twilight Council Forge, Nexus and the rest coming into play just for now. Struggle Oracle comes through, still looking for opportunity. One of those Oracles low. I wonder if it would just be worth leaving that one back at home a little bit, As ShoWTimE is going to have the few Adepts to shade in with here, so good pressure potential, especially as they're really only on kind of a Queenling defense. The Adepts can do a lot. They're going to run up into the main base. The Oracles can deal with the Zerglings if they try and chase and get rid of a bunch of those, at least while the Adepts busy themselves with the workers. So you'll see, you know, ShoWTimE doing damage here yet again. Some more damage to be done once more. Just feeling still getting that surround, that wrap around here. And yeah, 5 drones, 6 drones going down. The Queen's going to step over. Again, another nice bit of damage done from ShoWTimE, trading out some of the earlier game units. Getting some value from it. And Overlord goes down here as well. That supply block Shin, and he's not close to a new Overlord. Now 2 Overlords start up. The drones are going to begin to build. And again, the +1 missiles building through as well as the Oracles. Head down that right side to see what else is going on. Stalkers are going to hold position. I'm just going to keep these Lings from doing too much in the mineral line. We are on our way to Blink, so things are getting better very soon here as well. On the side of ShoWTimE, having that Blink open to him will give him a lot of possibility, a lot of potential. And that's what we're kind of sitting waiting on right now to see exactly how that turns out. The Oracle's flying back over in this direction too. Just going to fly into that natural. Not too much they can do there. But again, just cruising around, looking for that opportunity. I still really would like the lowest HP Oracle to just maybe go back home. But I do feel like you're just kind of putting yourself in danger for the sake of being in danger right now. So, yeah, maybe going back the other way would not be such a bad thing. The Stalker's going to hit this hatch. As the Link Hydra presses forward, Stalkers will push the Hydra's back away a little bit. Hatchery's still taking damage. Oracle's going to try and stasis ward again. A few Zerglings showing up. Stasis is going to be popped. The Stalkers will continue to blink back for a couple more moments here just for now. Let's see what else we can do. Stalker's going to shoot a few Lings going down. And do you have the +1 missiles? There's the drop lords, by the way, from Shin. So he's going to try and get very aggressive on the follow-up to this. So +1 missiles, Overlord speed, Hydra speed, Overlord speed already long done. And you are going to see these drop lords ready to get aggressive. Something that Shin loves to do, but will ShoWTimE recognize that and play around that in this game, especially a game that's been very chaotic already, and where there's not maybe been as much of the kind of natural setup and defense that you'd like to see. Oracle's going to see the units in the center, so that's going to take ShoWTimE's attention. And yeah, the main in-base expand of ShoWTimE is not got any vision at all, so it does feel like that drop's going to do a lot of work, because ShoWTimE's preparation against it really does feel like it's at an all-time low. He's going to drop a pylon here now. Maybe that probe sees a little bit of this. He's going to see it now anyway. And this feels very difficult right here for sure. Things coming about, those Stalkers taking hits. Just going to be seeing the Hydras dropping down. 11 probes already going to start us off. Yeah, this seems pretty doomed for ShoWTimE, especially as he's trying to scrap on the other side of the map and it's not really going anywhere. Shin is going to get game number 2 of the series. We get tied up. And already. This second half of the group, after a little bit more of a banger start, as we're going to get a game 3 here. Shin and ShoWTimE, big match. Could very well be the deciding match that sends one of these guys to the playoffs and the other one home. So we'll head into a game 2 in just a couple moments, guys. Just waiting on the... game 3 in just a couple moments. The third map is Old Republic. I'm just trying to get my maps to load. Cool. Kind of a wild game. What's going on? What's happening? Cool stuff. As I get ready for our next one in just a second. Listen to play momentarily. Move up Shin, move up ShoWTimE. I think we've got everyone in here. Ads are playing, but I think we can just go and send it. Wardy, do you think it's better to donate to individual players or to tournaments if you want to support the community? As unbiased as possible? That depends what you want to see, right? Like, if you want certain players to keep playing, then specifically support, then specifically send to those guys is obviously going to be good. But if you want to support the community in general, I think tournaments is better, because then if you support tournaments, there's more money in the scene to compete for, and there's more competition, and there's more to play for, right? Like, tournaments are good for everybody, you know? Whereas, if you donate to certain players, it's good for those certain guys. I'd even say just donate to those certain guys, though, as well. As like, it's one of those things where it's like, does that motivate them to play? I just think overall tournaments are better, but, I mean, obviously that is going to be biased. I think it really depends who you're thinking of sending it to as well, right? Like, yeah, hard to say exactly. Honestly, it's a pretty good question. Pay Zerg's double. I just feel like if, like, for example, say you're gonna send. Say you've got the choice of making a weekly cup of, say I don't know how much you're talking about, right? But like, let's just presume you have the choice of either giving $400 to run a cup, or you have $400 to send to players. I mean, you can basically just cherry pick which players you like, but then at the same time, it's almost like you're asking what's better for the community. Is that amount of money going to keep those guys playing? I mean, it'll help, but it might not make it. Probably doesn't make the difference. Just like them playing in one tournament probably doesn't make the difference either. But then overall you get content out of that, and then that helps other people grow as well, right? Like, you know? I think tournaments are a very important part of the scene. And we have a lot of them as well. Because I think it's very difficult to say overall. Hard to make a call on that one. I think it's hard to say unbiasedly. I mean, I'm a tournament organizer. If I thought tournaments sucked, I wouldn't run them. You know, definitely a factor too, you know. I think at the end of the day, tournaments just do a lot for the community because it's something for everyone to watch, talk about, discuss. You know, games played in the tournament, or things we bring up on bigger tournaments and so on, you know. You know, there's opportunities for underdogs to perform in tournaments as well. There's opportunities for the big guys just to kind of do what they do and just do well. Yeah, it's hard for me not to say tournaments, I actually think, overall. I'm trying to think of it in terms of, like, what if it was like someone gives me $100 versus if I got to run a $100 tournament. And I think I'd rather run a $100 tournament because I feel like there's more benefit from that overall. But like I say, it depends because it's like, you know, $100 to me is very nice. But it doesn't make a difference, whereas a $100 tournament lets me stream for the day, you know? It gives us content. I think there's a lot of benefit from it. More people benefit too. So I'm like, but then like, I couldn't kind of make that true for everything that I take. Like, I've got to make some more money for myself, right? So, like, yeah, it's very difficult to say. It's a fun one. Just donate to Wardy. Yeah. Is GSL not coming back anymore? As far as we're aware, there is no plans of GSL this year. GSL really happened last year because it was brought back as an EWC qualifier last second. So with no EWC, I would imagine something serious would have to happen for GSL to come around. The Adepts are going to get the drone kill. Oof. Well, Adepts going to shade, getting up to the high ground there. A couple Lings going to nibble through the pylon. It's going to see our Zergling speed coming up. The drones, Lings, Queen, Spores coming through as well. Just going to have the Lings going to go after the Adepts for a few more seconds. Once the Adepts going to get surrounded, going to get cleaned up. And just going to be seeing a couple of Lings heading back down to the bottom left-hand side of the map. And Adept continue to move around a little bit as well. Just trying to run at the front, trying to see what's going on, looking to see what's happening for a second. Just going to see the Nexus, couple of probes all coming through. Thing's going to get a wrap around onto the Nexus as well, so going to put a bit of damage in on that. You're a boomer, there's no EWC this year? No. StarCraft 2 was not one of the announced games. Hence, it's more important than ever before to support what you like to see in StarCraft, whether that's streamers, tournaments, players. More important than ever before to watch StarCraft and keep the support going just through that as well. So, yeah, keep the support coming in whichever way you can, guys. It is as important as it ever has been. All those linger around coming through that natural turn away, melee upgrade, drones. A lot of that producing through just for a few moments here. It's getting a lot of that up and running. Again, +1 the blink coming about, the gateways and the robo facility building as well. Oracles will activate. 2 drones going down so far. Gonna make it a 3rd, gonna make it a 4th. Now the hatchery also taking some damage as well. +1 melee upgrade coming through as well. Bringing that up. Yeah, melee upgrade, a fun one from Shin. And ShoWTimE not really doing anything aggressive to kind of punish the melee upgrade either. So he's gonna get away with the melee upgrade and hence very strong lings at the start of this game. As the Stalker is going to come through, Overlord taking some big hits. It's about to go down. Overlord cleared out for the moment. A bunch of otherlings is gathering around. The Oracle going to make a reappearance and then goes down pretty quickly, so that's going to be a slap in the face. Oracle got shot down real quick right there. It's not been pretty for Shin. 8 drones go down, 10 lings. I mean, killing an Oracle is nice. It definitely brings you back a little bit in this, makes you feel a little bit better, but it's been a pretty miserable starting point as he's going to get the lair finishing. The Roach Speed starts immediately. So he's going to shoot. A couple lings going to come about as well. Bit more being done there immediately. The Oracle's going to swing back through the center of the map. Ling's again getting chased away just for now. And then pushed out to the side for the moment. The Stalkers will head up the right. As the Roaches clean up the top, the Adepts take a bit more damage. Infestation Pit, Roach Speed, Groove Spines, +1 missiles. All these bits and pieces coming about. The Oracle for a Stasis Ward down there as well. So yeah, lots of those bits and pieces coming around. The Roaches and the Queens going to fight against those few Stalkers. Getting some damage done. Stalkers definitely taking some hits, taking some shots. A little bit of pain involved thus far. I see the Stalkers going to put the damage back onto this hatchery now. So hatchery taking hits, which means the Roach is going to come around. It's going to be seeing everything else gathering about here. So do you see the Stalkers still putting some damage in? The Queen's still taking some shots. ShoWTimE looking to take advantage of the good start he's had just to get value from the blink on these Stalkers, but Shin is surviving and he's getting Hydras out soon. See how well these Hydras can do as we do see Queen of Creep is blocking one of them. Does not get punished for that though. That's this Roach Hydra coming about. The Stalker's still taking heavy hits right now. We are going to be seeing the Stalkers though. The power of the Stalkers is that they can just keep going because they're blinking back and not going down, so their numbers really are retained so heavily and convincingly throughout this. Stepping forward again, a couple more Hydras going down once more. The Overseer and the Queens continue to push by. Drones will now pull into this Hydra Queen to fight back. Stalker's still stepping away. Just going to see the Stalkers blink up to the high ground. The Roaches pull back, the Stalkers as well. Just going to be seeing extra Stalkers warping in. So Shin kind of holds this off. He's lost a few drones. ShoWTimE's still pressuring. What I'm scared of for ShoWTimE is there's no follow-up to this. He is just sending 10 gates of Stalker pressure right now. So it's very important that he sees success, because if he does not see success, this becomes very brutal very quickly, basically. So, yeah, this becomes a big problem very quickly if you're not careful here. So, yeah, definitely something to look at and think on in the near future. Problem is, like I say, ShoWTimE, he needs a follow-up, and since mentioned it, we do have Temple Archives on the way, so we're looking to get to the next step. We started +2 as well, but Shin's also going to be free to get to the Lurker Den and the Hive, and this game is going to go to a different level of what it was. But was I observing this entire game? What the hell? I feel like I was not, but alas. Hey, thank you, Dave Tester, 41-month resub, appreciating Danny LeVeteran on the 42-month resub, just to outdo Dave by 1. Thank you so much. Hello, friends. Good afternoon, GLHF. Thank you for dropping by. Guys, appreciate the subs. Thank you so very much, as we do have the Stormers coming up. That Storm upgrade about halfway done. Storm's going to have to blink back now. Until Storm is done, this is a little scary for ShoWTimE. Oh, the Stalkers just got caught by the Lings. Good wraparound by Shin. Going to allow him to get a bunch of Stalkers there. That was a good play. Battery going to try and help, but this is not enough. He needs Storm desperately against these Hydras. And ShoWTimE probably going to have to cancel the 4th base. He has Storm in a few seconds. It's not going to be in time to save the base. He is going to get the Prism into the main at the same time, too. That's going to stop reinforcements here, at least. You would hope. Oh, no. What happened to the Prism? Didn't get a full unload, even. Man, unfortunate, because these Zealots, one more would have done a lot. They already killed a Hydra and a Queen. One more Zealot, and maybe you get the Prism somewhere safe to actually unload a little extra. Could have been a pretty big deal. Alas, it was not. Lag again. As hopefully get that sorted.
Game paused.
Take a moment to figure that out. Indeed, this time around. Alright, we'll see if it's better. I think we're gonna be good. Let's resume to see if it continues. If it does, I'm sure and you'll be right out of here.
Game resumed.
And we get back to it as some Hydra Roach steps out onto the map, so heading down. Let's see where we can get to for the next couple of moments here. I'm just going to be seeing the couple of lurkers start to morph in, so that's going to be a big factor. Getting a couple of these lurkers in. You're almost seeing ShoWTimE actually stepping forward on the map himself, so he's taking a little bit of a step through too. Charge, Prism coming about, a couple of Lings getting shot down, the Oracles coming by as well. Zealots, High Templars, and Stalkers all coming around here. I'm just going to see a couple more lurkers building up once again. Getting this back on track. As again, Hydra Lurker comes building on through. So, the Stalker's going to get in after the Overlord initially. The Link's showing up. Like I say, ShoWTimE's biggest issue is that these units have just moved around the back of him, and he's obviously been kind of holding the center. Now these units get around the other side. See how ShoWTimE does breaking up this ramp. It's not a lot of lurkers, to be fair. Going to blink towards the lurkers on the right side. Wasn't a pretty blink because we only got one kind of volley off, and it's not really enough. A couple more storms coming through. They definitely help. Shin getting chased away. He's got a lot more units into the center. ShoWTimE is pulling back to start dealing with that, but these High Templar on their own, just a couple Lings can put so much annoyance on this scenario. The Prism is going to get caught as well. That goes down straight away here. We just kind of have Hydras everywhere. I mean, it's a little bit of a messy scenario for ShoWTimE, is obviously being forced, just out of position, right? Being forced to pull back around and deal with this on the other side becomes a little bit chaotic. Yeah, that makes this a very tough scenario here as the Hydra's still building up. A couple of lurkers coming through. A lot of Hydras. Like I say, the lurkers coming up, the hatchery building through. Nexus is going to go down onto the fourth base again. So ShoWTimE trying to reestablish that fourth, but Shin doing a great job of keeping ShoWTimE off the fourth and keeping himself very much so in this game in comparison. Couple more hits. Shin gonna get supply blocked. Overall, ShoWTimE's supply is still good. It is just the lack of a fourth base. The loss of the fourth base a couple times over now really has kind of cost you in a big way, I'd say. The attack will be building. Again, the lurkers coming out, a couple of Hydras coming through. 4 spine crawlers, 6 drones all building as well. I'm just going to see ShoWTimE is getting close to max now. Like I say, his priority has to be defending the fourth. Like I say, beforehand he was kind of very far out in the open. I don't imagine he's going to step that far forward again now. I imagine he'll pull back a little bit extra and just try and, defend a bit further back instead. Hydra Lurker takes a move down the left side here initially. It's going to bring this straight over, as that's going to be the test for ShoWTimE as to whether you can hold on or not. Good storm in toward the lurkers initially there. Just going to start scaring this a little bit where possible. The Hydra Lurker going to run up this ramp. ShoWTimE going to dive on the right side. I like it. The lurkers and Burrow recognizing that he's coming for you and that he can't really do much to save the position there. So we back away from that one. Hydra Lurker on the left side now going to move through as well. And ShoWTimE has done a great job, I think, of just kind of taking this step by step and not overreacting overall. Nice dive in from the front. ShoWTime's supply just isn't good enough. Yeah, I really felt like ShoWTimE did a great job of not overreacting on this final fight, but some of these fights previously just good enough to give Shin the edge. Shin's going to go up a match in this series or in this group. He's now 2-0, and he will play against MaxPax in a couple of moments. So we will head into MaxPax versus Shin in just a few. So it should be Shin A, MaxPax B, West, Central, West for this one. Perfect. We'll get that started up. Yo, already been watching your stream since the new year again. Inspired me to get back and get into SC2 again. Currently playing the Brood War campaign for the nostalgia, then onto SC2 campaigning ladder grind. Hell yeah. Always good to hear the streams, getting people back into playing the game. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing when people just come back and start playing StarCraft because it's a great game. Always happy to hear the stream getting people amped up. Alright, we'll get videos on the way here shortly, guys. We'll get this going, get this ready to start. Get this off real soon. Do, 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 do. Hello, says MaxPax. Drops a veto. Getting this underway, guys. Getting this underway. Do, 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 do. Here's the back. How you doing? 80 stream watch streak. Love that. That's amazing. Thank you so much. 80 stream watch streak is crazy. Oh. A lot of streams. A lot of streams, especially when we just stream like once a day, man. Like, it's like almost, it's probably like 3 months worth of streams. So I definitely have a hair on my glasses. That's like 3 months worth of streams. Crazy business. Alrighty, guys, we will be in a moment, ready to go. Add 1, 2, 3, 5 videos out of 6 so far, so we're very close in that regard. Get this going in just a second. Like I say, appreciate you guys dropping by, hanging out with us. Ready in for some StarCrafts. Let's see what our maps will be for this next PvZ. Shin, obviously 2-0 in the group. Win this, you're guaranteed first place, and then MaxPax and ShoWTimE would scrap it out for a second place finish. If MaxPax wins this, then ShoWTimE could maybe still come back into this. A lot of it really starts depending on map score at that point. ShoWTimE is 1-1 with plus 1 map score. So if Shin loses, he could be plus 2 map score. ShoWTimE would, I think ShoWTimE always has a chance, as long as MaxPax wins. I think it doesn't necessarily matter too much. There's always going to be a chance for ShoWTimE. As the main takeaways. We're going to go Ruby Rock for this first game. My maps, for some reason my maps only load if I type specifically exactly which map I want. If I just try and let the maps load normally, they just don't. So yeah. Oh, MaxPax has hosted. You know what? MaxPax didn't beat me to hosting it, but he did beat me to typing out the lobby link. So where it goes wrong. All right, we'll just get everyone in here, guys. Make sure we're all set to go. Throw a couple more invites out and get ready to begin this. Second to last match in Group D of the WardiTV Winter Cup. Like I say, at the end of the day, we will be able to see what the playoff bracket looks like, so we'll get that sorted and get that ready to go. Hey, what's up, Hala4? Thank you so much for the 50-month resub. There's a place without SC2 in the morning. I don't want to go there. Thank you so much for the 50 months. I appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. Ready, and we count down into game number 1 of this best of 3 series. Like I say, a big one. Shin wins, and he is first place, and MaxPax ShoWTimE is a straight up fight for second. If MaxPax wins, ShoWTimE could absolutely still maybe map score his way into the playoffs, or maybe even make a 3-way tiebreaker. If MaxPax wins 2-1, and then ShoWTimE wins 2-1, there's going to be a 3-way tiebreaker, so that can be a solution or a resolution of this group as well. So let's see what the scoreline ends up being here. Shin has been a player to challenge MaxPax as of late, has been someone who can absolutely come in and look very good a lot of the time, and sometimes, like I say, upset MaxPax in a lot of these matches where you think MaxPax is typically kind of a favorite, and a lot of the time typically he is a favorite, but we'll see what happens here this time as we get up, ready, and underway. Bottom right corner, the red Protoss player is indeed MaxPax. Taking on the blue Zerg in the top left corner of the map, we've got Shin. The game number 1 of, as mentioned, this best of 3, second to last match of the group. Here in Group D of the WardiTV Winter Cup. Playoff spots on the line. Playoffs are tomorrow. Entirety of the playoffs are tomorrow, guys. A full playoff bracket run tomorrow. And then, yeah, to wrap this up, we have some players qualified into the Winter Championship and so on, so we know everything that's happening there. And all of that goodness. Hatcher on the way, drones producing. Just gonna get that all settling in for a couple of moments here, so take a few seconds, get this rumbling, see where we're gonna go. Roby obviously being a bit of an annoyance on the other side of the map initially, so it's gonna start off with that and see what we can try and do. Drone gonna pull fights back against the probe. Why is no one playing Terran? Because we don't have any Terran players in the group would probably be the reason. Yeah, probably something along those lines if I had to make a guess. As that drone, he chases the probe down. A couple drones in the spawning pool coming about. Again, Nexus and the Cybercore coming on in. Getting this ready to roll. Getting this settled down for the moment. So again, we get that going for the next few moments here. Two queens, two drones, the Overlord all building. The next is about to finish. Stargate's on its way. Let's see that next is coming by. The Adept and the Probe, we continue to build up. Yeah, that Stargate's still coming through. Link speed, the drones and the Lings are building as well. Stargate, the Probes and the Stalker coming through as well. Warpgate's still building by. Just gonna see the Adept still heading up through the middle of the map, heading to that upper left side for the moment. Just trying to poke in to the top, see what's going to happen. So Adept will take a bit of a shade through to try and see just what's going to go on. For the moment, the Oracle and the Warp Gate very much so building by then. A couple of probes building up also. A lot of these bits and pieces looking great right now. As again, we see the Gateway, the Warp Gate coming about. The Oracle is going to be coming out from the Stargate as well. So we got the Stargate building through too. Let's get a lot of this underway for the moment. That's the second Oracle building by. Get that straight up and running here. And yeah, a couple of probes, as you can see, just nibbling away in the mineral lines on the patches and gathering those resources up. Really nothing too crazy yet still, just waiting to see where we take this. The Oracle gonna flap up into the main base where there's gonna be a queen or two ready to grid it and to deal some damage as well. So the Oracle gets turned back the other way just for now and push back out of there again pretty quickly and early on. For the moment, Forge and Twilight Council both still building by. The Gateway and the Nexus coming up and online as well. Oracle good to get a little grab on a creep teamer, which is something. As MaxPax tries for a drone, but a Spore Crawler comes into place, and those extra few drones and the Queen continue to build through as well. There's a lot more of that still coming up just for the moment here. Oracle activating, a couple drones going down. Queen's going to be there to turn the Oracles around once again. The Oracles get turned back out of there. Twilight Council, Gateways, and the Probes still coming up. Flare, drones, Overlord are building through as well. Again, a lot of that good stuff coming by for the moment here as the +1 in the Blink play coming up. The extra gates coming through. Again, just having ourselves the gates finishing shortly. Yeah, a few drones going about. A couple drones go down. And the Evo Chamber and the Hatch and the Hydro Den coming up as well. Bring the rest of that around here just for the moment. Let's just see the few Stalkers gathering up. The Similar is going to be there. Again, Hydro Den building through the Lings and the missile upgrade coming by as well. So a lot of that just keeps coming in. For now, as the Stalkers continue to make a bit of a move. And again, the +1 in the blink. What about right now? It's still got the Oracle coming up. And again, the Assimilator coming over. Robo Facility building. Hydralisk Den is about to complete even, so we have that finishing up very shortly as well. A few Stalkers still stepping in to see what else they can get going for themselves at the moment. Gonna be a nice little run with the Lings, actually going to do pretty well for themselves for just a second or so, getting in there, getting some damage dealt. Oracle's going to take a turn, revelate the Queens. So got some damage there too, as we see another Stasis Wall coming straight into place. And the Stalkers pressuring in from MaxPax, looking for damage early as Shin has Lings and Hydras. The Lings great against the Stalkers. The Hydra's going to be great if they can sit behind the Lings. Ideally keep themselves protected from the Stalker shots. And as we get up to more of these Stalkers, you know, you're going to be able to pressure onto the Hydras. But if you get to more Hydras, the Stalkers will be able to do very little. So it's about having enough Hydras, but also having the Lings in front to minimize the Hydras from taking damage. You don't want to have to replace Hydras here. You should be able to keep most of them alive while using them effectively for defense as well. So that should be kind of the situation right now as Hydra Queen comes stepping around for a couple seconds to see what else is going on. A little bit of an attack from Shin, which I'm almost surprised to see. Just a counterattack. Obviously, a bunch of Stalkers still on the map. But I would have thought he would have put a bit more attention initially onto just playing that right side at first. I mean, he is looking to play somewhat aggressively with the Ling Hydra because there's not too much else going on just yet. Just killed one of those Oracles that was being used for the defense. Shin showing up on this right-hand side. This Nexus going to be in some trouble right away here. So this Nexus is going to get jumped onto. Hydras, Lings coming around. Just going to see that Zealot is going to get picked away at. We do see this Nexus is going to drop. So fourth base denied. Storm about to finish, and what a savior that is going to be here for Shin in this game, as we do see, I mean, 4 High Templar ready, so we do have, sorry, I say for Shin, for MaxPax in this game, but it's going to make Shin's life a whole lot more difficult. We've got to drop these Storms effectively, though, and the High Templar getting close to the Hydras there. The Hydra's going to take a dive by and go after a couple of High Templar. Not all of them had energy to Storm, so we lose another one. Losing the wall off at the front as well, going to make it easier for these Hydras to kind of dive through, and Lings to help out as well. Going after the Cybercore for a moment. I actually don't like that first Storm. Second one, much better. That's going to be all of our High Templars and Storms used. We're going to morph them into an Archon now, which, yes, you know, obviously you're going to do that, but still not exactly an ideal situation in the slightest. I'm just getting after those Zealots, getting after those Stalkers. See that +2 attack upgrade coming up still as well. I'm just going to be seeing the Stalkers still quite a bit more damage out. I think Shin is going to get stopped here in the end, and I think one thing that's really been lacking for Shin is the economic damage, right? So he's not done anything to the MaxPax economy, so MaxPax should be able to build out of this and really follow up strongly. And while Shin's going for more Ling Hydra, I get the feeling MaxPax is going to have plenty next time around. Although that's, yeah, we do, okay. I was going to say that's it. It really depends on having High Templars already, and we actually do have 5 of them already up, so we're generating that damage at the moment. Ling Hydra takes the run off to the right side. I'm going to go on that venture across. Gathering through for the moment, a little bit of Ling Hydra all gathering around, so we get set up here. Oracle going to throw a Stasis Ward down as well. Zealot going to go after a few of these drones. Look at all those drones getting grabbed, picked away at. Going to go after the Cybercore here. That's going to go down too. These are the Zealots taking damage also. The Ling's still moving in. Another Storm. It's just so difficult to get worked in when there's this amount of Storm available as well. Especially because Storm sticks around so long, so every time you Storm, you have to back away for so long as Shin, and it gives you so much time to prepare for, you know, with even more units, another warp in or so as MaxPax during that duration. That really is the power of that new Storm again. Maybe it doesn't do as much straight away, but you can't just go running through it still. It's still significant damage. As Zealots go across the map to counterattack, Shin will have to deal with this while he's also trying to break in here. He does slip a little bit in toward the natural. That Storm kind of stopping the run around the corner or so, but the Zealots need to be answered, and right now they are just not being answered. Zealots still coming out, +3 attack. Archon coming by, Ling Hydra going to jump onto a couple of Zealots as well. Global facility is going to be dead in a moment, which would be nice, but then these hydras are looking kind of dead as well. While Shin kind of broke through, he's lost 18 drones across the map. These Zelds never got answered. At the end of the day, that's just going to be the be-all and end-all, and MaxPax going to take an opening game of this PVZ. Alright, so MaxPax takes the opening map, and we'll see if he can keep that going into game 2 here in a couple of seconds as Shin comes up against the resistance that is MaxPax and is going to take that loss. Game 2 here in a second as well. Join the lobby and get this ready to go. Alrighty guys, players are ready up. Should be able to jump into game 2 of this here in just a second, get us ready to roll. Keep the games moving on through. Thank you for joining us again. Appreciate you all tuning in for some WardiTV Winter Cup action. Obviously got Winter Championship starting up, not next week, but the week after. We'll be having some qualifiers coming up over the weekend though, so that'll be fun. Be a good time. Heading to 10,000 feet guys. Let's get this one ready to rumble. Send it. In the bottom right side, our Red Bros player to start us off is going to be MaxPax, and he's up 1 in this best of 3. He has ShoWTimE left to play, so still has a chance to go 3-0 in this group, guarantee himself first place. Obviously, this group is absolutely in his hands. If Shin loses here, he'll be 2-1, and obviously he could get tiebreaked, especially if MaxPax 2-0s Shin and ShoWTimE beats MaxPax, then Shin would probably have the worst map score, and so that probably is. So ShoWTimE has to beat MaxPax for Shin to advance if Shin loses. No, sorry. ShoWTimE has to beat MaxPax for himself to advance if Shin loses here. I mean, ShoWTimE has to win whoever wins this series, is what it comes down to. But especially if Shin gets 2-0'd, then it's probably very likely that it doesn't really matter what the score what happens in the MaxPax ShoWTimE series score-wise. As long as ShoWTimE wins, he'll advance over Shin. I don't think Shin would lose over MaxPax. Maybe that is a possibility. I don't think so, though. I think the head-to-head, if it did time up score, would probably be bad for him, right? So there's some possibilities. Well, when the series ends, we'll run you guys through the possibilities of what can still happen in this group, and obviously the differences in what might take place still, etc. So, there's going to be a proxy hatchery this time from Shin. Going to try and mix it up from the start. MaxPax was going to go. Oh, sorry, he is going double gateway. One of them just finished the production tab. For some reason, I thought he cancelled one. So, he's just going to get that first Zeld on the way. We'll see how he deals with this next few moments here as the probe steps up. Still nibbling at that hatch for the moment. No probe pull, though. I'm just going to get that Zeld on the way through here for now. So, bring that out. Like I said, we'll set this off in a couple of moments and see exactly where this, or what this turns into. And the future drone is going to get the hatchery down upper right side. So that probe is going to swipe through the hatchery. Damage being done. A couple of depths going to chrono boost along out of the gateways as well. Not sure that hatchery is going to really do much in the end. I mean, good depths being built at times. The double gate obviously gives you those units. So actually send the adepts across the map initially. So he wants to get very quick pressure onto the other side. So that's going to be the starting point here initially from MaxPax. Get into the upper left side with these adepts. We do have the Twilight Council building up from MaxPax. A couple of hatcheries, the Lings, the Queen building through as well. The Zerg and Speed still building along. So we get that on the go. Just get this started off. See where we get to. As the hatchery will fall soon. Never really did anything with this. We're going to get a couple of Lings out from the eggs. Well, they're very tanky and depth shot's not doing much. But yeah, those Lings are going to come through. I mean, with 2 adepts still at home, this should be kind of fine. I'm going to put them to the high ground. And then the Lings can only really run at the low ground, but the Zealot should be able to protect there, so a pretty solid way of getting the defense set up, I would say. You don't expect MaxPax to do a ShoWTimE? I mean, in a way, neither do I, but also ShoWTimE MaxPax did win Mondays yesterday against Hero, and he looked a lot better in the PvP again, so maybe that's something which is being fixed up a little. Fascinating Glaives is coming through. Just going to see the Lings still staying attached to the gateway here, so this forward gate of MaxPax goes down, so Shin at the very least going to say no, we're not going to play that kind of game right now. Shuts that down, gets that dealt with nice and easily. Obviously going into that Glaives, how many gates are we on then? Just the 2? Because one of them got cancelled here. So not exactly the economy it's not exactly the production you're looking to play off of as MaxPax right now. He's going to go Dark Shrine behind this as well, but it's going to be weird with only 2 gates to open Adepts from. Resonant Glaives is about to be done. These Adepts, we still have a decent amount of them, it just could have been more. I'm going to step through, going to chase down a Queen, going to threaten the Shade, but they're going to cancel that for the moment. Sit on this 3rd base for now and see if they can try and grind something together to figure something out over the next couple of moments. Adepts can turn on to the Queen, we're going to get one of those straight away. Nice little catch from MaxPax initially. It's a lot of Lings, and the Adepts not exactly in a choke point right now. They're in open space, so it's the perfect time for these Lings to get a wraparound. And that is a lot of Lings, so I think Shin's going to clean this up. A couple of the Adepts will shade to you. A mostly empty mineral line, 1 drone available to go down, and otherwise this is then defended. Dark Shrine, charge, a couple of the Adepts. All of that building through right now. Again, the Lings and the drones will build into place also here. Lings is going to run forward, just going to hit the front door. MaxPax not going to be allowed a 3rd base in this sort of scenario. The Adepts got to be careful here, got to try and protect this opening. I think a sentry for the force field as well. We'll just nibble at that Overlord. The Ling's going to try and run forward too. The Adept's going to be there. Picking away at a few more Lings once again. Overlord gets picked off. Again, Rotron still building through. Here's the DTs now starting to take to the stage from MaxPax. We'll see what they can get done as he sits 6 works behind this game. Definitely not ideal for the moment. Things will take a chance to run back up to the top. You're going to survive, a couple of drones going down. More being done, just going to be seeing the workers dropping, no detection available just yet, so no spores ready. Plus the fact the lair's not done. It's kind of brutal. CT can get the other spore crow, it's absolutely the best thing you can do, because now there's going to still be no detection on this low ground for foreseeable future. Oof. Hey, this is bad. This is bad. CT going to swipe through a couple more Zerglings, try and get a little bit more done for a couple of moments there, see if there's any extra we can find for now. Not really seems to be the case. There's still 12 drones killed. We're finally going to get detection available. This spore, let's be super careful. That's only detection. I guess Lair's done right, so we should be able to morph an Overseer at this point. Let's start now. We still lose the spore for the moment. Every swipe that these DTs get is going to be just more damage to be dealt. And they're just going to keep adding it up. Another drone, a bit more in the hatchery. He should really be done soon, but MaxPax knows that the Overseer is coming. So instead of just kind of looking for a few more swipes, he's going to go and save those DTs and use them again later. Now DT's dropping in the main base. Been in trouble initially. That Prism's low, and he actually misses the chance to save this other DT. So, missed opportunity by MaxPax. A rare mistake that was made. And drones, that roach speed all coming up. Just going to see the gates and the Nexus going by as well. A couple extra workers coming on through. And a lot of that underway just for now. +1 that Immortal coming about. The Prism is going to come and step in overhead initially too. So just going to bring that straight over here. Probes is going to transfer. We do have the Stalker and the Immortal gathering up. That next in the front coming into place as well, so we get that in position right away. Going to be seeing the couple of Zelds gathering up again. DT's in production, attack upgrade coming through, the extra gates are coming by. Zelda Mortal Archon going to begin to make its move to the top. I mean, this is on the back of MaxPax dealing all that damage with the DTs. We'll see just how effective that has all been. See how good it's going to be for him as he sends it to the top left-hand side of the map here. You have some Ravages morphing in. They're definitely going to help. A good amount of Roachling as well, but the Archons are good. Prism. Not moving forward, staying in warping mode, so that one Archon that's low already, I was going to say, is maybe an easy target that could have been saved by the Prism. So Zealots are going to warp in here. That's obviously going to be a big deal as well. Definitely doing a lot for you. And as we just have a couple more mobiles, gonna have to make sure we actually dodge away from that, right? I mean, it can get a little messy if you're not careful. Archon's chasing through. Oh my god, the drone stacked through the Archon shots. And now these Zelds just not dying quickly at all. The Immortal actually hitting the hatchery in the background. Now the hatchery is low, so it might be worth targeting, but I imagine it was going to go better if we actually just kind of stepped in over here. It's going to be at MaxPax 2-0 Shin. ShoWTimE going to be given a bit of hope because it means Shin's map score is bad, so there's potentially he wins this through on map score rather than potentially a head-to-head or anything, right? So that'll be a big deal. So with a 2-0, what we'll do is we'll calculate what the scenarios are, as we do have to hop on over to Europe and change server and stuff, so it'll take us a moment. So we'll figure out what can happen based on this PvP now that we know that previous result and where things stand in this group in full from that previous, like I say, that previous PvZ wrapping up. So we're going to hop on over to Europe, most importantly, and get ready for MaxPax versus ShoWTimE. So Shin's going to be 2-1, 4-3, so he's going to be +1. MaxPax is 2-0, 4-0, so MaxPax can never, ever not advance. Even if he gets 2-0, ShoWTimE is +1. ShoWTimE just needs to win, and he's ahead of Shin on map score, no matter what the map score is. As long as ShoWTimE wins, he's ahead of Shin on map score. I'm pretty sure that's all it's going to come down to. Because, yeah, Shin will be 4-3. 2, 4... Yeah, 4-3. So yeah, Shin's gonna be +1. ShoWTimE is +1. So yeah, ShoWTimE just needs to win the series, and he's through. If he loses, Shin is through. MaxPax is through no matter what. All right, guys. So Shin gonna be, after trying to defeat MaxPax, is now gonna be cheering for MaxPax. Let me get this ready to go. Get these videos started, guys. Get this started. Alright guys, take a couple moments then. As videos are on the way for MaxPax ShoWTimE. I'm just gonna BRB 2 seconds, guys. I'll be right back with you. 1 sec. Map's been picked. So I'll be heading into this very shortly, guys. Old Republic going to be our opening game of this series. Alrighty. Alright, players ready. Kick this off in a second here. Get this going. Alright, GLHF gets called. As we get going here, map number 1 of our final best of 3. Let's get going. Kick this off. Can you gamba? I'm not going to do gambas today, but we'll bring the gambas back later this week. Alright, let's go. On the bottom left-hand side, we're going to start with the blue Protoss player. That's going to be MaxPax. Taking on the red Protoss on the top right side of the map, ShoWTimE. So, straight up, all that we need to see here for ShoWTimE is a win. Win the series and we are good. Like, there's no kind of messing around, there's no funky business. It's not complicated, just you win the series, doesn't matter what the map score is, you win the series and you are through. Lose the series and you're out, and Shin advances instead. And of course, MaxPax is safe no matter what, is one of the main takeaways here as well. So, it's also an important note as we get set up. Gates and the assimilators going through. Get ready for a couple seconds. If ShoWTimE 2-0s, he's in first place. Yeah, so that's true as well, is that ShoWTimE and also finish in first place of this group, which is nice because then you're going to avoid some of the heavy hitters in the yeah, you can avoid some of the heavy hitters in the other portions of stuff. Alrighty, so ShoWTimE MaxPax, let's see where we go, let's see what we get from the guys. Game number 1 of this best 3. MaxPax's PvP lately feels like it has been weaker, but then he really bounced back yesterday in the WardiTV Mondays, so that kind of shut me up talking about that at least. We'll see if that continues here against ShoWTimE. Maybe ShoWTimE has some ideas of what he would like to do to try and put himself in some good positions and so on, and maybe try and take some advantages, etc. So definitely some possibilities there. We'll see what kind of happens across the course of this. So yeah, gate coming up, Cybercore coming in, so double gateway, Cybercore coming through at the moment from ShoWTimE. Pylon probe coming about, Nexus assimilator coming over as well. So far, so good. Probe comes over. It's going to drop the robo facility down to ShoWTimE. Oh no, what a surprise! Man's going to proxy robo. I mean, his opponent's expanding quickly, and ShoWTimE will try and take advantage of that as MaxPax heads into the Stargate, gets that ready to go. We get this set up in the next couple moments as well, so we get that started straight away. And yeah, Stargate coming by, a couple of Adepts, Warp Gate, Robo Facility coming through too, getting that on the way just for now. Getting this all set up for the moment. Stalkers building up, a Warp Gate on the way, getting the Robo Facility coming by, the probe going to nibble the other probe for the moment. Yeah, and Prism and the Warp Gate coming about. There's going to be a Void Ray coming in defensively. No surprises there. Let's see the Adept moving about. Still going to get the probe in the corner. You have Twilight Gateway. Prism in the Warp Gate. All building by. That Forge coming through. Void Ray coming up. established initially. And the Stalker going to come about. The Adept is going to still threaten the Shade up this high ground. Push it back down the other way. A couple Stalkers keep on chasing. So the Adept takes a few more shots. Adept, gets the Shade away. The Adepts to ShoWTimE will be able to Shade and kill. And they will get it. So able to get the catch, able to clean up. For the moment at least. Prism coming back over, and you have the Blink building on that Twilight Council, Chrono boosting that away. A couple cannons coming online here right now as well, so we got a bit more defense. ShoWTimE is playing against a MaxPax who, I said this yesterday, has really kind of gone back to what he loves in this kind of early game defense, which is the cannons and the Void Rays, especially the cannons I feel like we've not seen for a while for him when playing defense in these scenarios. There's going to be a lot of defense in the low ground. It's very important we don't allow the Prism elevator up to the high ground here because, like I say, it's a lot of investment on the low ground, so you can't let him just bypass that investment. That was an activation on both Void Rays, by the way, so both of them are going to be on cooldown now. It's going to be more difficult for them to kind of really scare these Stalkers off. And as the Cybercore going to be an initial kind of part of the interest here. I wonder what we feel like we gain by killing the Cybercore. Obviously, if you do kill it, it is going to allow the Adepts to shade by potentially, so that's one thing. Because it obviously opens the wall off, but I'm not sure if that's really the main play or what the kind of idea is right now. Prism kind of warping off. We're actually going to use the battery to heal the Cybercore a little bit, which does drain some battery energy. ShoWTimE obviously is on his way to Blink, so as he gets closer to Blink, the more likely he is going to have to get himself a chance to kind of win this with the Blink play. That said, because there's Immortals coming out too, I do really like the army composition of MaxPax. I like where he's putting himself. Having the Immortals to support the Void Rays is just so huge. Being able to have something on the ground that's super sturdy and tanky, if the Stalkers blink on top of it, for example, on top of the Voids, and the Immortal is just going to be stood there, then that's going to make life very difficult. So yeah, I think that's going to be kind of a big deal. As you see, the couple of Adepts pulling back, a couple of Probes are taking some damage, 3 Workers already going down. So he's going to actually make a blink in the main. Oh, full activation on the Void Rays here, but there's not a lot of batteries. Oh, we lose the Prism. That's a defense from MaxPax. ShoWTimE is going to drop this first game in a couple of moments because he can't do this without the Prism, and that's obviously just such a massive slowdown from what we were trying to do. That's going to be GG's. MaxPax takes a game 1 in brutal fashion. I mean, there's no messing around. MaxPax, you make him defend, he's going to defend to the best of his ability, and sometimes that is going to look a little bit like that. GG's for game 1. ShoWTimE not able to make the proxy robot work. MaxPax is definitely figuring something out. I wonder what this build is specifically bad against. Because there must be a reason he stepped away from it, and something that people were doing beforehand that was just, made it not effective. Because right now it's looking great. He used this great defensively yesterday too, against Hero and so on. So I'm genuinely curious what the weakness of this build is per se. Because like I say, he stepped away from this kind of cannon void and then into immortal defense for a while. So why is chat so dead with 1,000 viewers? Because StarCraft 2 tournament chats usually don't fight unless they are ready to balance wine. I think this is pretty regular chat interaction levels for our stream. It's a slower stream. We have a mature audience. They don't need the app on. A lot of people watch while they work. Sometimes chat pops off, but usually pops off when there's something to really talk about. A lot of the time people just sit back and enjoy the games, so... yeah, it is definitely quiet compared to a lot of chats, but... I promise you, there's no suspicious activities going on. What does ShoWTimE do then? Game 2. Down a game, must-win series for ShoWTimE, playing against MaxPax in the PvP. Never fun. ShoWTimE's always been able to challenge MaxPax in the PvP, but now tournament life on the line. Shin rubbing his hands together, looking for a spot in those playoffs. And we'll see what the playoff bracket is as well after this this match. So we will see exactly who is going to be playing who and how that's going to look. Going to be some good fun as well. Yes, hello, Lucky. Yeah, watch while I work. Yep. Yep, me just here for the gameplay. Yeah, we're not a chat that, we're not a stream that, you know, necessarily kind of generates a lot of chat interaction a lot of the time, right? Like, you know, sometimes we do, but not all the time. I'd probably pick a different game if I was trying to bot my Twitch. You would think so, wouldn't you? Yeah. Also, like, how do you think I afford to run tournaments if I was botting as well? Like, not only am I paying for bots, but my viewership actually doesn't generate money. So, like, yeah, you know, we can continue to name the problems with the situation, right? Like, there's quite a few of them at the end of the day. There's quite a few at the end of the day. Don't worry, I'm definitely a bot. Nice. At least I got the ones that talk to make them seem less bot-like, you know? We'll take it. Good job, team. Good job. Proud of you all. Robo from both players. MaxPax is proxied in ShoWTimE. We'll see it, and he's going to have a robo of his own. It's fun because I always feel like someone told me that the proxy robo kind of has an advantage in this scenario, but obviously that only depends on how exactly it plays out. Because what the proxy robo player gets from this is the ability to kind of take position and chip at the opponent's gates, and the opponent doesn't want to just sit on the low ground, right? So MaxPax is going to have that little bit of an aggressive setup, and we'll see how he uses it. See how well ShoWTimE can play the defense here, but yeah, I mean, knowing where that robo is a big deal, because if ShoWTimE gets the chance to play the denial onto the robo, that's a massive factor. There's a couple of adepts skirmishing, by the way, on the far right side of the map. Stalkers and adepts, it seems. I was just letting you guys know that that's going on, but otherwise, full focus on what is going to be some aggro up to the top left. The Prism moving in and looking for getting some stuff done. Going to get a probe initially. It's just starting slow with the Prism and the Adepts. Going to follow up with the Immortal. There's a Sentry from MaxPax. It's obviously looking for Force Fields to get some work done. This Prism going to take damage. Going to have to abandon the Adepts. What's kind of awkward is that, okay, first of all, A, we lose, you know, 8 probes. It's not exactly ideal for ShoWTimE. Make it 9. B, I was going to say the Prism's a bit stuck, but because we have to chase down the Adepts, the Prism will free itself with the Adept play, so... Prism comes over, Force Field comes down, a couple of units going to get caught. Now one Stalker on the high ground going to go down pretty quickly as we now play the dancing game as the Immortal and the Stalker come back around. All of those Stalkers just getting warped in here, so again we get that up and running just for a couple seconds. Do you have the push is going to very quickly get rid of that first gateway, so the first gateway goes down especially quickly. And ShoWTimE is going to say GG because this just got out of hand completely and totally. Way too fast. Damn. Well, that is one way for Shin to make the playoffs. MaxPax wasting no time at all in this PvP. And that will be that. Just like that, my friends, we have ourselves the playoffs set. It's going to be classic hero. Protoss player finished first in every group. That's crazy. It does mean we have no mirror matchups for the quarterfinals. It does also mean that all of our favorites are Protoss, and so we maybe have just PvP for the rest of the tournament. So, let's pray that it doesn't end up like that, but it is a possibility. So it's going to be Creator, MaxPax, Classic, and Hero advancing in first place to their groups. Bjorn, Kua, Yakov, and Shin advancing in second. So what we're going to do is... we're going to get this set up to randomize it, guys. Give me a moment here. We'll run some ads, but then we'll do the bracket draw live on stream. Perfect. Looks good to me. We'll use this one. Sweet. Alright, I'll give it a moment or two, and then we'll get this ready. I guess I should probably log into my Liquipedia, which is annoying because I have to open an incognito tab because I'm logged into my wrong account on TL to edit Liquipedia with. And you can't log in any other way than logging into TL, so it's Mild annoyance. A mild annoyance. Sweet. Log in. How do I turn Wikipedia into dark mode? How do I turn Wikipedia into dark mode? Oh, this button. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. I'm logged in. We're ready. We're ready. Give it a minute and a half for the ads, and then we'll go from there. Why do I have multiple accounts? Because I have Wardy, and then I have WardiTV. And before and my Wardy account, I did a lot of like Wikipedia editing on and stuff before WardiTV was a thing. So Wardy used to be the account that would show up on like the TL sidebar and everything, and so on and so forth. So yeah, Wardy used to be the OG account, and then like I had all my Wikipedia edits on there, so it had permission to just auto edit Wikipedia. It has permission to add stuff to the calendar on Team Liquid. But then I made WardiTV, the TL account, because we made ourselves WardiTV after like 5 years. And so then I was like, it made sense to kind of attach my stream, and I'm just logged in on there because I post all the tournaments under the WardiTV account. Honestly, looking back, probably makes no difference at all. Probably just shouldn't have bothered making a second account, but I did. It meant that I could like flame people on my Wardy account, but I was like, well, it wasn't WardiTV, you know. You know, don't blame WardiTV, the tournament organizing team, aka me. It was Wardy. It was that Wardy guy, you know. Alrighty, guys. So, what we're gonna do is we've got about 15 seconds. We're gonna draw this bracket. It's gonna be super simple because it's a very simple bracket today. A very simple bracket to randomize. So we'll get this going, but we will randomize it, and I'll show you guys just how it works and stuff, and so on and so forth. Are we good? Alright, we are good, guys. So, let me just show you guys how this is going to work. So, I'll just go full screen here. So, obviously we've got 4 groups that have been played. We've got 4 winners, and we've got 4 second places. Because it's just a single elim bracket, it's going to be the 4 winners just get randomized, and we're going to drop them in whichever position they get randomized in. And then, the only rule after that is that obviously second place finishers can't play the player that was from their group. So, like, for example, Classic can't play Bjorn until the finals. So if Classic drops into the top half of the bracket, Bjorn must end up in the bottom 2 matches. So basically, we'll do the first randomization with 4 players, and then we'll randomize 2 players at a time to figure out what exact matches get played. So, I'm going to drag this over here. How do I make... Oh, because it's not a incognito tab. Okay, so I've got Classic, Hero, Creator, and MaxPax that we're going to randomize to begin with. So this is just going to straight up randomize the order that the players drop into the bracket, obviously, which is obviously like a nice little starting point. So we'll go from there, and we'll randomize these guys, and then we'll figure this out. So let's randomize these guys and just see what happens. So MaxPax, Hero, Classic, Creator. So MaxPax and Hero will be on the same side of the bracket. So that's MaxPax, Hero, Classic, Creator. Let me edit those in. So MaxPax, Hero, Classic, Creator, just like that. MaxPax, Hero, Classic, Creator, perfect. We could save that. Cool. And then, so the bracket looks like that in terms of order. So MaxPax and Hero had Kira and Shin in their group. So MaxPax and Hero have to play against Bjorn or Yakov. So we're going to randomize Bjorn and Yakov first. The order they come out in is the order they'll go into the bracket in. So we'll obviously just get that set up for a second here. So we're going to randomize Bjorn and Yakov. So just bring these over, randomize, and it's going to flip around into Yakov and Björn. So we will edit this in. So it goes Yakov versus MaxPax, Björn versus Hero. And it leaves us with Kira and Shin. And the order that they get randomized into will be the order they also drop into the bracket into. So it's going to be MaxPax Yakov, Hero Björn. Damn, I feel like Björn can't get away from Hero lately. And then, so it's going to be Kira and Shin. Bugger's going to randomize these two. And the first will play Classic, the second will play Creator. So let's do a randomize there. Shin and Kira. So it's going to be Shin versus Classic. Oof. And Kira versus Creator. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I think there's a very good chance. We end up with a I think there's an extremely good chance we end up with a PvP semi-final. To be honest, I think MaxPax is favored against Yakov, Hero versus Björn, Classic against Shin, and Creator Kira I actually think is a bit more up in the air. I think Creator might be our brightest light in terms of that, but yeah, I'll figure out. So how this will probably work, guys, is we'll probably do this match first tomorrow, and then Hero versus Björn, then the semi-final, then Classic Shin, Creator Kira, semi-final. These will be best of 3s, these will be best of 5s. So 4 best of 3s, 3 best of 5s tomorrow. And yeah, we'll do these two, then semi, these two, then semi, then the final. And yeah, and obviously the top 4 qualifying to the WardiTV Winter Championship as well. They will start in the playoffs of the Winter Championship. Hey, if all 4 Protoss make it to the playoffs straight away, that just means we're going to have way less Protoss in the group stages of the Winter Championships. That'll be fun. So yeah, this will be played tomorrow, guys, in its entirety. So the entire bracket will get played tomorrow. So, yeah, it's going to be nice and fun for us to watch. Should be great. Should be a whole lot of fun. Hopefully you guys are excited for that. And, yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else to say. I really want to cast this Cyril Clem series, but I don't know if I've got the... I want to cast it, but I also have, like, the... I'm also like, ugh. About casting it for some reason, I don't know. I'm seeing myself finishing early. I'm like, I could just have, like, a nice, like, early finish, walk alley, chill out a bit, you know? This could just be such an easy day, you know? I think I'm probably just gonna wrap up, guys. I don't think I'm feeling it. I think I'm just feeling kind of getting on with my life for the day and calling it there. So I think I'm gonna love you and leave you all and say see you guys tomorrow for the playoffs. Also means I can get the players some messages sent out and stuff already as well. So yeah, we will do that. That probably makes sense. Coolio. Sweet. Take it easy. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Just thinking if there's anything else I want to answer the cast. No worries. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Yeah, I think we'll wrap this up. I was just wondering how long the ads might be until I can play them again. It's like, I'm like, can I get another sneaky round of ads out here? Is this a possibility? Is that a little naughty of me, maybe? Yeah, I think we maybe can. Podcast as always. Thank you so much for watching it. I appreciate you. Yeah, let's, okay, there's the ads. Okay, the ads are ready. Perfect. Then I'll send you guys over to some ads, and then obviously we'll host up and stuff afterwards. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you tomorrow for more StarCraft.